wrestling fans around the corner, around the world. Not to be confused with Old Den Fan. We are here on Thanksgiving Eve, L-I-V-E Live, for a Super Chat, not Thursday night, Wednesday night extravaganza. You guys love the watch-alongs. We've tried to keep it November themed because of his mind. Boston Wrestling MWF Operations Director, Mr. Charles, a.k.a. Charlie Wilson.
And I've been doing a lot of directing lately.
Been doing a lot of directing.
A lot, as you know, with some of the issues going on in the MWF.
Well, you almost felt like you were part of the delivery service tonight with doing pickups. But that's a different story.
The War of the Roses.
The different times, yes. Yeah. But we're going to have some fun tonight. It's Thanksgiving Eve in some parts of the world known as Blackout Wednesday. You know, a dedicated driver such as Charlie would never put himself in such a predicament like the scumbag that blew me up. But if you're having one for yourself tonight, we'll say salute. Quincy Rastani is roaming along with John C. Manicus Reilly in the control booth. So we're going to salute. Salute means salute in Italian. Speak of the devil, here he comes, a man that needs no microphone.
You know, I would say in the list of great Italians, Quincy Rastani is right below Mussolini.
Yeah, you can pull the chair over if you want, the white one.
I don't want you to, you want me to hold your milk, brother? Yeah. All right, I'm going to hold that milk. I won't drink any of it.
Your pants are coming a little undone, Quincy. I don't know if you were just ejaculating.
You have to like say every.
But I mean,
wait, is this milk or something else, bro?
They are a little out of control there around the midsection.
All right, I don't point out your errors.
No, there's a lot of them to point out. Believe me, you should just ask Linda.
Yeah, well, anyway, first of all, happy Thanksgiving.
Quincy, I don't know if you're on camera right now, but you know what? You stayed there with your milk. I don't want anything on.
Yeah, that's all right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Keep your milk
Merry
socially
Christmas
distanced.
is coming up soon, so let's just say that right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Quincy, how thick is that milk?
That nice napkin that he has.
Oh, sip. Quincy.
Well, he's willing to share. It's Thanksgiving.
By the way, I just want to put this out. The Super Chat button is open. Quincy needs a new bike, as we were talking about a little while ago.
We're going to need a lot of Super Chats for that too. Tomahawk, how are you, my friend? Salute. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Miracles can be performed if you're willing to work for them. Well, I can sing, dance, go do charity work.
Yeah.
And instead of going to a hospital.
Keep going.
What's the matter with you? Mirade.
Do we get Super Chat towards Quincy's new bike?
Anyway.
Quincy, there's a Super...
Quincy finish the story. This is important stuff.
Okay.
Keep going, Quincy.
Go on. Sorry.
Instead of going to a hospital, in my case, I would go to a bike shop. Earn your own money for the miracles. But we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. When have you ever earned your own money?
It's like, don't we all need miracles?
Now,
well,
Quincy,
I can perform miracles, but let someone help me raise a fund for a bike shop.
Fun for your own bike, you mean?
Yeah. In other words, it'd be fun. I just make it look easy.
Quincy. I'm sorry.
Now, Quincy, do you have these napkins because of a little ejaculation issue? No.
Now, what was the other thing you were talking about?
Well, we were just excited. We got Christ Savior here. Christ Savior. I don't know if you've seen the middle. We spared no expense. John, see if you can switch cameras to thank yourself. Uli, hopefully I'm saying that name right. He's one of our great international fans.
And I got worried that our friend Ted is in the hospital.
Yes.
So I would like to, first of all, Ted, I hope you get very fast recovery. I guess you went into the hospital.
Not Teddy P.
Hospital.
Not Teddy P.
No.
I forgot the wrestler's last name.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Quincy.
First thing when I walked into the door, that the wrestler is in the hospital with a heart attack.
Oh, Christ, Queen, Tomahawk, Brandon, guys, welcome tonight. We're going to have some fun with Stockade 93 once we heat up the room a little bit. But it doesn't get any hotter than when Quincy Rastani's in town, baby.
Send a very fast and speedy recovery to Teddy.
Yeah.
Because, so Teddy, I hope you get a very fast recovery in the hospital right now that you stay at. And I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving because you're probably going to wind up having food at the hospital. Okay?
Well, Quincy Larson sent us a message. He wanted to know, how's Eleanor Rastani
She's
recovering?
much better.
Yeah.
Good. She's doing a follow-up now and getting a bit more treatment.
Yeah.
That's what she needs.
Good.
I
like your shirt, by the way. It's a nice shirt.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
his Chris Christopher look for Wednesday nights.
Chris Christopher?
Chris Christopher.
I know who that is.
Used to tag with Duke Drosy down in Florida.
Well, Chris Christopher is the second worst name after Tony Anthony.
Well, Quincy, are you going to stay and watch Starrcade 93 with us? Or you think maybe this is just going to be a quick in and out, like when you go to see those
we're leaving in a
those
little
rats
while.
at
Quincy
Colt
quickie.
Cutters?
Yeah, because besides, it's so-and-so weather, and I want to get home safely. And
So-and-so weather.
well, bikers, we have to watch the weather. Because
Yeah.
bikes,
Well,
don't.
Charlie, you're a biker. Are you worried by the weather tonight?
It's a little chilly.
A little chilly
Everybody
for
wants to get
bikers.
home.
You're a biker?
Yes, I've told you.
Oh, right.
Probably every
right.
time
Okay,
you've ever
good.
met.
Yeah, only-
Well, we can talk
Other than
okay,
that.
we'll talk about.
Oh, yes. We'll talk next time I see you.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
Hopefully that won't be for a while. Just kidding. Just
Next
kidding.
Thursday.
No, not next Thursday.
but I guess
You should have been in Florida next Thursday.
I just talked well to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. I'm sure you got the message by now.
Yeah. Definitely.
All the wrestlers, wherever you're staying at for now, have a good Thanksgiving.
Christ, thank you again. Now, let me tell you this. Is this a famous? Yes, it certainly is, Joey. I'm definitely gonna read what you said out loud after we calm Quincy down.
What do you mean, calm you down?
With the string coming out of the top of your glasses, Quincy, you almost look like one of the reindeer from the Rudolph special that was on Monday
hearing
this
aids
week.
and eyeglasses.
All right.
Why are you making
But
fun
why
of
is there a string coming out of the top of your head?
I told you, they're hearing aids and eyeglasses.
But I've never seen anyone use legitimate, rope.
What's wrong with it?
It's a little thick.
Yeah, so? Why you
Could he
criticizing
resemble
me?
a reindeer if like you saw a
These aren't
shadow or
reindeers,
something?
It looks to me like you came out of like a woodland forest and you got some twigs and everything coming out. I like it though.
Did Donna try and hunt you down?
No one hunted me down. I simply put ropes up on my hearing aids and eyeglasses. Okay?
All right. Well, that explains that. The normal procedure for anyone with hearing aids is to have big, thick white rope coming out of the top of their head. But Quincy, we're in for a hell of a night tonight here on Starrcade. Our good friend Christ Savior 888 wants to remind us all, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Romans 10:9. Do you believe in that, Quincy?
One of my very favorites is like
It's one of your favorite prayers.
Yeah,
No,
one
she
of
said
my
flavors.
very all-time is when they. I know a few good stories, but I gotta tell you, is when they it's very easy. And now this time of year. Now, who do you want, ladies and gentlemen? Barabbas or Christ? You have to make a choice.
Who's Barabbas?
Barabbas, ladies and gentlemen,
Chastain.
is the guy that that was out there that they were going to crucify, that they whipped and beated and crucified. And the story goes like this, ladies and gentlemen. Christ took place of the crucifixion over Barabbas. Okay, that's one of my all-time favorites.
What's a favorite?
Yeah, my favorite. And instead of choosing Barabbas, they chose Christ. Okay.
What happened to Barabbas?
They freed him, and Christ took the place of the crucifixion.
Yeah.
Very important. It's one of my time favorites of the stories of the Bible.
They used to say that Reno Chastain was a Barabbas.
Well, I'm sick of hearing about, first of all, hearing about these people that you will not mention again.
What people?
But I tried to help them.
What?
And the story goes like this.
Hey, where do you live again? In Stoneham, right?
Yeah.
On Green Street?
Yeah.
I know of a family friend named Chastain on Green
I'm
Street.
sick of hearing about Chastains.
It's
No more
not too far
Chastains.
from Stevens Street. I don't know if you know
No more.
about them.
But anyway, that's
Do
the
you
true
wish
story.
Carolyn Stevens a happy Thanksgiving?
All
Being
right,
a man of God.
that's the topic here.
But as a man of God, do you wish Carolyn Stevens a happy Thanksgiving?
Everyone, okay, one more time. Happy Thanksgiving, okay?
Even Carolyn Stevens.
Will you just be quiet, and
On that note, do you think it's time to get
All right, I
Starrcade
think we're ready for
93?
Survivor Series 93 again. As Joey reminds us, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Romans 10:9, not to be confused with Roman Reigns. All right, so are we ready? John C., could you do the switch over so my old man pillow can be hidden? Or maybe zoom in on our great friends. Thanks to Joey Uli. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's a fan from Germany. His John C. cut away from his name. And all of the great fans on Indiegogo that are trying to help us party with Marty again in the month of December, along with other. Now, see, I'm going to hold on to this so I don't rip it apart. And Quincy, now it's time for the 10th anniversary of Starrcade.
Yes,
the precursor to
1993.
WrestleMania. I know John C. When did John C. sit in with us? Was it last Sunday or last Thursday?
I wasn't here Sunday, and I think John C. was
This
with you.
past Sunday, you said you weren't here this past Sunday?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, it was Survivor Series. That's right.
Yeah, the
John had
news-
never seen a live pay-per-view, I don't think. We have some classic footage of Rick as he was adopted as a youngin'. Heck of a career he had leading up to this Stockade 93 moment. And we're going to be playing because of one of our great friends tonight. Oh, look at this. Christ Savior is impressed with you. It said, Quincy knows the Bible. I want to meet Quincy. Barabbas was a hardened criminal that Pilate freed instead of Jesus. The crowd hated Jesus so much, they wanted Barabbas to be free instead. Quincy, FTW. Wow.
That's right. Those who take by the sword shall perish by the sword. And I will never perish.
Does that mean those who live by the milk die by the milk?
Yeah, I drink milk. Not booze, not just
You're not
nice,
having a blackout Wednesday tonight,
just
I
nice
take it.
coffee,
Yeah.
milk, things like that.
I got a nice soda.
Yeah, and sodas. And
Well, you impressed our good friend Joey.
thank you.
He loves his Bible verses, and so do you.
Well-
Do you have a favorite Bible verse, Quincy?
I told you that was one of them.
That was one
Those
of
who
them.
take by the sword shall perish by the sword. For God so loved the world, who gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth him shall not perish with everlasting life.
Almost sounds like an Undertaker promo, like a
Okay?
prepackaged video.
Quincy,
Very serious.
Are you a fan of Austin 3:16?
That's John 3:16.
No, I mean Austin 3:16.
Who's Austin?
The Book of Austin. Go read the Book of Austin.
No, we'll read it later.
All right.
But I'm telling you exactly like it is.
Well, Stockade 93 in Charlotte opening up with much svelte Tony Schiavone compared to this current day's version, and a suited Jesse the Body Ventura, not one of those wild outfits that he usually has, maybe
No.
showing that
No.
after a couple of years that we sat through of garbage, that Stockade was trying to get back to a little prestige.
Well, I didn't mind the look of Jesse. I liked it. Now, his mullet on the back of his bald head was a little much. I could have lived without that. But we got a nice Pontiac Bonneville pulling up to the building. That was a nice car back in the day.
I'd like to know how fast Harley Race went before the camera cut to him to get to the venue.
However fast that
it
car
had
could
to have
gone.
been 3 digits.
Look at that Ribera jacket.
Leon's got his free Ribera jacket on.
Who do you think
I
liked
wouldn't want to
the-
open the bag if
Who-
I was Holly.
Who do you think liked their jacket more? Leon with the Ribera jacket or Stu with that 93 Bruins jacket he got Survivor Series?
I have a feeling that was probably a one and done for Stu.
They took it away afterwards?
I'm going to say they let him keep it, and it probably never came out of the closet
I bet
again.
you it's in Bruce Hart's attic somewhere.
Yeah,
Probably.
surprised they even put it on eBay or something. But
Yeah. How much do you think those jackets would be worth, the Ribera and the Bruce and the Stu Hart jackets?
retail or now?
Well, because they had it now, a couple
Oh, I'm
hundred.
sure the Vader jacket would be worth something big. I mean, I think that probably had to be custom made for a man of his size.
Yeah.
Stu,
Will we
if
observe
you
it
were
right
a
now?
Boston fan and went to that Survivor Series, I could see someone maybe dropping a
Who are we
couple
supposed to
$100
be
bucks.
observing right now?
What's that?
2 men that have been in this studio, Quincy, Vader
Are we supposed
and
to be
Holly
observing right
Race.
now?
That's Vader with the mask. And now we're back to Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura. Jesse, some people think by the time he got to WCW, he was a bit over it. He wasn't exactly at the top of his game.
Jesse?
Yeah.
He just wanted the payday.
Well, he was still charismatic enough to make it work. I know he left, I think, in 94 or got let go.
Quincy, we have another Bible verse for you from our friend Drew Tube, I'm sorry. And you will know my name is Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Right?
All right.
Is that
Well, I'm
old?
just throwing them out there as they come.
Oh, no, I love it.
Look at a very young Ashley.
Let me give you another good one.
Blair
Right?
right there.
Before she was enhanced
Preface work, yeah.
Ready?
and breast work.
Okay, another one of my all-time. I don't want your blood money. I don't need your blood money.
Yeah.
Okay? Very important because Remember when the Betrayer came along and they took blood money? And you know what the blood money will do to you, okay?
Did you think in 6 or so years that
Oh, David Flair.
David Flair would go on to
Did you
become
get that,
WCW Tag Team Champion? Yes,
U.S.
Quincy.
champion, too. David Flair, even here, was a black
Was he a
hole of
U.S.
charisma.
champion
I
too?
think so.
I completely that era of WCW.
99.
It was just even by the Attitude Era pace, it was too fast.
You know, I'll be honest with you. We've been doing all these Starrcades. I would love to do them all, but after 98, there's no reason.
No.
The last couple,
The rhyme and reason is gone.
You know, 97, 98, sure, but 99 on now.
Mr. Wonderful said Quincy is on some dope tonight.
Well, I'm not on dope.
All right.
I just simply said, I don't want your blood money. I don't need your blood money. And,
Quincy, if I gave you a nickel and blood on it, you would take it.
I'll talk
a
about
dollar
that in
for
the
sure,
old
but I
school
don't know
days
about
of
a
blood
nickel.
money when Betrayer comes along and
Oh, what?
Do you
Quincy,
think- do
we
you
have
think-
another one for you, Quincy. Queen Bench 311. Anyone else sharing favorite verses? Mine is Matthew 19:24. Now, what is that one, Quincy?
I forgot the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sure I'm going to love,
You'll come to you tomorrow.
I love the Bible.
You know who loves
Oh,
the
wait
Bible?
a minute. Hold on one sec. There was a tribute to you. A Christ Savior 88 wanted to send along Love You, Charles. A man that does not stab people in the back. A man with a good heart, a good soul, character, integrity, work ethic, and hard work is all just part of his middle name, believe it or not.
Also,
as opposed to
it's,
Manicus.
it's really Charles Groveler Wilson.
No,
I do.
please. Don't even compare
My
yourself
Christ-
to
By the
that.
way, I just want to say this about this
Not
this
against
segment
you.
here. I like the segment, but I'm not a fan of Flair. I love the tie, but not for Flair. That should have been a solid colored tie. I don't really care for the floral print on Flair for this night.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a pay-per-view in Florida or something. And
Not the Starrcade
not even,
93.
no.
I think a black tie would have suited the job perfectly.
oh, but you see, Joey,
And
you're
I
in the
love the
right
tie.
place, brother. We got believers all over the MWF, right here.
You know who's a big fan of the Bible?
Thank you, Brian Duffy. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Choo Choo. Hopefully, all is well with him in Maine. He became rather close to a man of the cloth. But that's
Sacco is a
different
man
story.
of God.
Sacco is?
If you talk to Sacco, he's very religious.
Is he?
Yeah,
I
ask
never
him
knew that
Next
about
time you
him.
see him, just be like, Sacco, I hear you're a man of God. He'll tell you, yes, sir.
All right.
Oh.
Mr. Wonderful, hopefully we'll be having a lot more than that, brother.
My boys.
Oh,
Teddy
I know
Long,
you were a big fan of him.
Scorpio, and Bagwell. My guys.
I don't know what impure thoughts you might have had about Scorpio, but I
Well-
know you did about the other individual.
Well, you know, Scorpio looked good down here. Teddy Long looked a little puffy. No, maybe not puffy. Maybe that's not the word. He looked a little bit more filled, I guess. If you look at his face.
Yeah, he really didn't thin out again until he went kind of back to managing in WWF in 2003. When he was a referee, he was kind of pudgy.
What do you think of him? What do you think about Scorpio? I know how you don't like
Very
Bagwell.
underrated talent.
I
Very
think-
underrated talent. It's a shame he had the personal problems he did that led to him, not going as far as he could have. I know he was a personal protege of Leon's.
Well, actually, Bagwell has talked about that Leon's the guy who put them together. He saw Marcus and he saw Scorpion and said these two would be great together. And
Vader put them together?
he mentioned it. And these guys worked really well together. And I'll say this, I think Bagwell had more to offer overall than Scorpio. But as an overall package, Scorpio didn't cut a promo.
He was a better promo and had a better look. I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
In the ring, you could argue Scorpio, but as an overall package, I'd go Bagwell.
I bet Gary Michael Capetta was interested in his package, but that's a different story for a different time.
Did
Teddy
Teddy
Long named the 1993 Manager of the Year. I have no idea why. He didn't lead anyone to championship gold.
No.
He didn't do much of anything
Was
of
he
any
like the
consequence.
Slick of WCW? He was kind of like the Slick of WCW.
No, I mean, Slick was usually with top guys. Teddy Long, he had the skyscrapers.
Was
and,
Akeem really a top guy at that time?
Well, he main evented one of the Survivor Series. He main evented a special on NBC that was seen by 15 million people. He main evented a Saturday night's main event that was seen by 8 or 9 million people.
All right, fair point.
Now, would I put the Bolsheviks in that
Oh,
category? Absolutely not. But Joey wanted to know, what is Charles' favorite era for Flair? or of Flair? Maybe?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I was telling Dan a couple weeks back, Flair, you know, when I was a teenager, I'm 29 now, so to give you a reference, when I was a teenager, I didn't really appreciate Flair because the Flair I grew up watching was an old, kind of out of shape looking old man. And didn't do much in the ring, wasn't very exciting. But as I got to go back, I really dug the mid to late 80s of Flair. I fell in love with the Flair from 88, 89, particularly his matches with Steamboat. I just watched his match with Sting from the first Clash not too long ago. He was really in his element. I would say Flair's prime was probably early 80s until he left for WWF. But I really loved mid to late 80s Flair. I mean, he was phenomenal in that, you know, just in that 84 to 90 run alone was, you know, he was
Well,
great.
I tell you, as I watch this, it's amazing how they went all out on that Stockade 93 banner on the opposite side of the hard.
And I'll say this, but Flair for 93, I think, was out of his prime, but he was still a very good performer. I think he was still very good. I wouldn't have built a promotion around him in 93, but I would still have him up near the top or kind of close to it.
Well, it's sad we lost both of our friends, Paul. Well, I don't know Jody Hamilton, but we lost both the assassin, Jody Hamilton, and our longtime friend, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, this year as we ponder our thanks here on Thanksgiving Eve. We lost a lot of the brothers.
It's just, you know.
Phil is here with us today.
Hey, Phil.
Phil, welcome. I'm just checking up.
I love Phil.
Phil has been doing the rosary every day for over 2 years.
Hail Mary, full of
Phil,
grace,
we got to
the
see
Lord
you at the
is with
studio sometime,
thee. Blessed
brother.
art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of that woman, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen.
Well, you've been known to bless a womb or two, Quincy. Let's see. What else do we got? Matt, welcome. Yeah, a little Flash Funk.
What was the idea of Flash Funk? Was it just basically a pimp?
Yeah.
Was it Godfather
Almost like
before
a
Godfather?
pre-Godfather before the Attitude Era. Mara Woods, thank you for joining us. Hard work is all we know.
What do you think about Roma? It seems like he always kind of burned a bridge. If he didn't, he would have had a longer career. He was still doing pretty good stuff here. A decent middle card guy.
He was, I guess, the personification of fine. He was your C-plus player.
He was a heel Tom Zink.
No, that's...
You think he was better than Tom Zink?
Huh?
Think he was better than Tom Zink?
No. Okay. Not at all. Let me try and catch up on some of the comments. Charlie, what was a bad match you've seen in WCW?
A bad match?
We could go on for hours about
There's
that.
a lot. I would say, Medusa versus Evan Courageous was pretty bad. But then again, a lot
in more
of Medusa,
ways than one.
It was Medusa, so what do you expect?
And fans, don't forget, tonight at 10 p.m., we'll have the premiere of our Alondra Blaze Medusa in-studio shoot interview. Her and I right on this set.
I had a very interesting experience with Medusa the day of November the 13th.
I did too.
Yes. Nothing dirty with our experiences, nothing sexual, but, just very interesting experiences.
No.
I felt like it was a good, the bad, the ugly, all in one. It was very interesting.
Well, I got 2 out of the 3, but anyway.
Yeah.
Phil says, I love you, Quincy. Tell him, hey, from your friend Phil that drove you home.
Yeah.
How you doing? And happy Thanksgiving to you, Phil.
Well, Phil, I'm sure you heard that.
Yeah.
Brian Duffy didn't care for the Viagra on a pole match.
That was bad.
Oh, Phil hopes to bump into Paul Romer at a gymnastics competition. Both of their daughters compete. Matt Schmidt said Power and Glory had AIDS.
Can I do an impression of Phil bouncing into Paul Roma?
Sure.
I'd love to do an impression. I'd probably be like, Paul, I was a big fan of your Power and Glory days, but I felt the Young Stallions was a very good team themselves.
Now, Phil, are you aware of this invitation?
I will say, I was watching you in the Boston Garden. It was April of '91. You and Hercules had a fantastic match, and you threw some sweat off your head, and it landed right on my arm. I didn't wash that arm for 6 weeks. Just letting you know that, Paul.
Well,
I hope that was a good impression, Phil.
John C. Reilly is keeping an eye on, John C. Manicus Reilly keeping an eye on things.
Paul
in the
Orndorff,
control room,
kind of at the end of his career, but Paul looked a little rough at times here, but he was still kind of going on.
Now I'm kind of curious. Queen Bench 311. Phil is so well spoken. How do you know Phil, Queen? And from Christ Savior, Charlie, were you for Nash going over on Goldberg? And also, what do you prefer in the heyday, 96 to 98, of the Monday Night Wars, Nitro or Raw?
So I would say I don't mind Nash going over. We talked about this, I think. Nash going over Goldberg was fine. It was just the aftermath of the finger poke of doom. I think Goldberg, and I know Kevin Sullivan disagrees with this statement, but, Sullivan has his own opinion. I think that they protected Goldberg, and when that bell rang, watch the people in that building. They popped huge for that. They were into it. So I think Nash going over Goldberg was fine. They just didn't handle the aftermath, typical WCW. And as far as WWF versus WCW, 96 to 98, I'd go with WCW. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and we said if we were pro wrestlers back in that era, where would we want to go wrestle? I would rather go to WCW over WWF in that time period, to be honest
I'd agree with that.
Because
there was much better money.
Especially as a
until
smaller.
98, even though with the downside guarantees, the guys were blowing that away.
Even till 99 or 2000, because for smaller wrestlers, WCW always used them better, I think. WWF, they couldn't understand how to use a 200-pound guy or sub 200-pound guy for a long time.
That's why you had Taka Michinoku doing clean jobs to a 320-pound out-of-shape NWA version of Barry Windham. I mean, please.
That's kind of a weird dream match for me. I like seeing those weird matches like that because it's different,
If it was a good, prime Barry Windham, sure, they still could have had a good match. But then, the 98 Barry Windham was past its prime, left out on the road for a few weeks.
I mean, Barry was running out of fumes a little bit in 94, so 98 was rough.
I continue to look at it as maybe right guy, wrong time. The Goldberg push really only began in the fall of 97, and then before 98 chimes in, one of the most over things in the industry is just done. My opinion. But one thing I want to notice before we continue, fans, this autographed Adam Cole poster is going to be up for grabs tonight in a game of 20 questions, thanks to our great friend Joey, who has put the holiday spirit in all of us. So stay tuned, especially if you're an AEW Dynamite fan tonight. Someone is going to walk away with this autographed poster of Adam Cole, baby. Not baby, but baby.
Baby.
Now, Quincy, would you let Annie use her special skill on you if it would get you a new bike?
What?
Would you like to have it? What color would you like your new bike?
No, well,
Or you're not a stickler for color?
well, let me look at the bike first, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Oh, look at that. We got a new fan joining us tonight. Welcome.
And then we'll talk about the colors later.
Okay.
The bike I have is a 78 Honda Hawk Automatic.
It's as orange as Marcus Bagel's tights.
Yeah, orange would be nice.
Orange is a good color. I like orange.
Something in the lines of like what I have.
It almost looks like something they should have worn for Halloween Havoc.
Yes.
Then we'll get it.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe a little red and green tonight, where it was right around Christmas time.
Maybe they have.
Red and black would have been nice, or white and black, something like that. Celebrate the new year.
In today's world, maybe they have 400 automatics. If not, they'll have something that's very close to it.
No, it's true. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Now, this match, I feel like Roma he was talking to the ref. He was kind of trying to sell, kind of not trying to sell. I don't know. It was kind of weird. But I think Roma was just sort of.
Roma was just the best way to describe him. He was a very solid hand. There was nothing spectacular about him. Yeah. There was nothing that was going to go out of your way to make you want to buy a ticket. I'd probably say his biggest claim to fame was
Power and Glory.
Power and Glory with Hercules. He had his tag team title run with Arn Anderson and then Paul Orndorff here in WCW. But those were those two veterans that were carrying the team. And you're talking 1993. I mean, 28 years later, is there anything that the guy did that stands up?
Well, I agree. But also, I think, too, his personality probably rubbed people the wrong way. I mean, he could have had a longer run than what he had.
Well, he was a confident guy. He still is. I mean, you can kind of tell that.
Seemed a little bitter in some of the interviews I've heard of him. Seems a little bitter.
But I mean, can you think of anything that could have, should have been done with the man that wasn't done?
Well, that's true.
I mean,
I will say, sometimes, what's interesting about some of these interviews?
I love it. Tell me.
Is that you'll hear an interview from a guy and then hear a different interview 10 years later, and sometimes it's a different person. I'm talking about. Brian Clark's a good example. I saw an interview with Brian Clark years ago. He seemed so angry, and then I saw one recently. He seemed like the most friendly, laid-back guy.
Maybe it's because he looks like Hillbilly Jim now.
Yes, and if you look like Hillbilly Jim, you have to be happy.
You have to be happy.
You know? Okay, actually, here's our trivia for wrestling fans. What was Hillbilly Jim's former name before Hillbilly Jim? What was his name before Hillbilly
Interesting name.
Very interesting.
Now, are you impressed with the Starrcade banner? You never really answered my question.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Well, at least they tried, kind of. It's
Do you think the Stockade banner is bigger than our little thank you?
I feel like this is like a Manicus attempt.
Well, you'd have to talk to John C. Manicus Reilly about that. Roma was part of 3 great tag teams. Mr. Wonderful, would you really go that far? Hey, Phil, you got it, baby. You know what? I missed something from Joey a little above. Well, I didn't miss it, but I mean, we got special guests galore in this room tonight, from what I'm told. Oh, we wanted to play the game of 20 questions, but you think of the answer.
Me?
Well, obviously not me.
I thought you were looking.
No.
Okay, I'll think of an answer. Let me just think of something. Okay.
I'm going to play a little 20 questions, folks. Now, how do you think we should do it? Should we? Hey, thank you, Mr. Kruger. Appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, wherever you may be. Where are you from? I know you're a relative newcomer, at least, to chiming in and typing with the fans.
Oof.
Oh, wait a minute. Jody Hamilton's mask could have been loaded on that one, much like Quincy's pants.
All right, I've got an answer. I've got an answer.
All right. Now, how do you want to begin this? In the middle of the match or after the match?
We can start now if you want.
So we're going to play 20 questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Wesley. Now, what should we do about this? Should we play multiple 20 questions and see if we have more than one winner? Or should we go with one? The first game gets the big prize, and then we do the rest for fun.
Whenever we have time for it, we have to be out of here in a little while, you know.
Quincy, you have to be out of here in a little while, not me.
What are the options again, Dan?
Well, it is Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know,
let me make a
when
short
you're in an
version.
industry like this, Quincy, there are no holidays.
Well,
There are no holidays.
Tonight's Thanksgiving Eve.
Well,
So-
you can take a holiday then.
Yeah, so
You and your Christy.
I'll play a little bit of like this questions, whatever. If
Okay,
I'm
I don't
able to
know.
answer it, I will. How's
I
that?
don't know if you're going to have any of the answers, Quincy.
Well,
Your Christy might.
Roddy, you really just don't know when to quit.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to go on camera and say this. Dan, if you keep patronizing Quincy Rastani, not only will Quincy leave, but I will leave as well.
You're going to leave as
I will
well.
leave as well.
Before the end of 20 questions?
It might get to
You're going to
12
leave at the
questions.
19th?
Might leave the 19th and leave everyone hating.
People
All right,
try to
so
help you out here.
You're not
but
answering, Quincy, hold on. You're not answering the question. How do you think we should approach it? Should we do one game, one prize? Or do you think we should do multiple rounds? And then if there's multiple winners, that person gets.
Let's try to do one game, one prize. See how that works. Is that
All right,
okay?
quickly, let's go.
Quincy, if you need to run, brother, we understand.
Not
it's
right
Thanksgiving
now.
Eve.
Don't worry.
All right. Well, I've got
People know
my
where I am.
answer. I've got my answer. You guys can.
All right, guys. In 5, 4, 3, 20 questions begins for the Adam Cole autograph poster.
Can I hold it up?
I don't know if you want.
I don't really
Would it
care.
make you feel
You
proud
call
to
me?
hold the poster?
Just so they know what they're playing for.
Oh, all right.
I think it, excuse me a minute.
Go get some more milk. Come back down.
But again, I want to thank Joey. I want to thank Uli. I want to thank all the Indiegogo, wonderful people. I know my handwriting, John C., if you want to zoom in on it, isn't exactly wild. I know our dear friends over at BJE have been a big help. So, yeah, there it is. And I'm probably saying the man's name wrong. U-E-L-I. How would you pronounce that?
Uli
Uli. All right, so I was somewhat close.
or Uli.
Well, Uli was what I was going with. All right, your first question. Oh, you're not.
I don't know, but are they?
It would
all
help
gonna
if
be
I
here?
read it to you,
Are they
right?
going to be here?
Is it a person?
It is a person.
All right, 19 to go, folks.
19.
Stone Rose has laid it in on Quincy. No holidays in this business. That's right. You know how many holidays I've missed and life experiences I've missed and life I've missed and on and on. I tell you this, though, on Friday, I have a mega meeting I have to attend in the Big Apple.
For what?
Um,
Alcoholics Anonymous.
well, we're going to be getting into that in just a few minutes, but
WCW in this watch-along's era.
I don't get it.
Oh, you're wondering, Joey, if they were in WCW during 1993. Is that correct? I'm trying to remember because I know they kind of went back and forth. So I'm going to say yes because I think they were at least around WCW in this era, roughly, give or take a year. So they could have been, or they could have just been getting back. Living. They are living.
That's where we got 17 to go, folks. Is it a WWE star?
Current WWE star? I don't know if they were ever a big star, but they were in WWE.
Try and be as specific in your questions as possible.
Because anyone who worked for
go.
them was a star, I guess. Brian Pillman, no, is not Brian Pillman.
15 left. Living.
Yes, Phil already did that one.
14 left.
No, actually, it's just 15. I already took Phil.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? 15 to go. I leave the rest in the palms of your very trustworthy hands, Charlie.
Barry Windham. No, not Barry Windham. 14.
Well,
these aren't bad guesses, though. Yep, WCW and ECW made the business better. Well, ECW I am a little back and forth on sometimes, but
no, I don't think this is Kia Stevens making her way to the ring. It's Awesome Kong.
Is it Lou? Screaming Baboon says, is it Lou?
Who?
It's not Lou. It's not.
Who?
Adam Lou? Adam Manicus Lou?
No.
Are they nasty? They are not. 14 questions to go. World champion. In a major promotion, Phil, they were never a world champion. So, no. That's 13 questions. Lex Luger, nope. 12 questions to go. Oh, it's the former Shockmaster.
Dear Lord, what were they thinking when they put this match together? Granted, it's on second, but it's still on their second biggest pay-per-view, or their biggest pay-per-view
12
of the year,
questions
I
to go,
should say.
guys, and it's Kurt Hennig. Nope. 11
But
questions
Quincy
to
looks
go.
like he's ready to get loaded. He's got 2 cups.
All right, but now I get to stay with you guys.
All right. As your
Singlet
pants
or
continue to look
trunks?
like they've fallen down.
Oh, Mike Rotunda. Nope, not Mike Rotunda. That's got 10 questions.
He was gone by this point.
How'd that question
Singlet or
go?
trunks. He wrestled in trunks. 9. Did they work for ECW? Not that I know of, so that's 8 questions left. Is it the Shock?
Yes, Baboon.
Not the Tugboat, not Mark Merrow, so that's now, it's 8 questions.
Or no, his question was, is Shockmaster Tugboat? So I don't think that's part of 20 questions.
Yes. Mark Merrow, nope. I think we're going to go with 9 questions. Are any family business? No, and it's not Davey Boy, so that's 7. We got 7 left. Come
That
on,
was a
guys.
good guess, though. He came back around
Ask some
that
specific
time.
questions.
Yeah, complete sentences if you could.
Valet or manager or by themselves? Well, I guess they were just by themselves. So 7. I didn't hear the question.
I can stay with you guys for a while, I guess. You know, told it's time to go, right?
You can stay as long as you want, Quincy.
All right.
So as long as you don't start ejaculating again.
I'm talking to this guy
Oh,
now.
all right, all right. I thought you were talking to me. I apologize.
Yeah, you can leave whatever you want. You can
it's a
stay.
little
I'm
while.
going to leave whenever I want. You leave whenever you want.
Oh,
I'll stick with you.
this is just tremendous in all of the worst of ways.
Mid-card. Okay, not Kevin Nash. Not Public Enemy. Hold on. Guys, we're running out of time. We're running out of questions. Were they muscular? They were more muscular than your average bear walking down the street. It was not Ray Trailer. Sid, it was not Sid. I think there's like 3 left. I'll give you guys 3 left.
Scooping a slam from the show. Oh!
Blonde hair. Have blonde hair. 2 questions left, guys. 2 questions left.
I have to say, even though that was only a minute or 2 long, this has been one of the worst matches we've seen in any of the watch-alongs.
Yeah.
But the Shockmaster victorious.
2 more questions, guys.
That's it. 2 more.
Dan Spivey, nope. You got 1 more guess.
Oh, Dan Spivey wasn't in this version of WCW. I tell you, that Awesome Kong must have been a pretty big guy.
Joe Shipley got it. It's Terry Taylor.
When did he come back in this era?
That's the thing. That's why I said I wasn't 100% sure, but he was in 92. 93, I count
He
as
was
the same
back
era.
with Vince.
No, he might have been here in
Oh, wait a
93.
minute.
He might have been late 93.
You know what? You're right. I'm wrong. I was thinking we were watching Starrcade 92 again.
Because Terry Taylor went to Vince in late 92 and stayed till 93.
Very,
and he
very
might have
short
gotten
trip.
back. So Shipley with the last question, because literally it was like 1 more. So
Wait, whoa, don't break the table.
So Joe Shipley, you got Terry Taylor.
Joe, brother, you got to, I'm going to put the email address in here, Joe, and I'm going to mail this out to you. Dear God. We get a nice prize. Maybe Quincy Rastani will mail you the package. Would you be happy to mail Joe the package, Quincy?
I could go to a mailbox if that's where I'm
You'll
at,
have to go to the post office. It's a little big for the mailbox.
What package?
Oh, my
It'll
God.
be this right here.
Why can't we wrap it up tonight? Put the address on. I can go to a mailbox.
It's too big.
It's too big, Quincy. They won't accept that in the mailbox. Can I go? Wait. Since it is the season of giving, Joe Shipley has said, can I give the price to Christ? Can I give the prize to Christ Savior? See how tired I am? I leave that at the discretion of Christ Savior himself. Dan, let Charlie keep doing it.
All right, I'll keep doing
My
it.
job has been taken. No one wants me anymore.
I'll keep doing it if you want.
Do you want to see, you know what, since it is Thanksgiving Eve, should we try and dig up some more prizes?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta try and donate to
John
a
C.
kid.
Manicus Smith, cut to the little whiteboard again.
Was that going to a kid?
Not kid, a guy named Joey potentially.
Christ, you're not answering Joey's question, though.
He
Do you
answers
want
all.
the
Give him a
prize to
chance.
go to... Quincy, hold on one sec. Christ Savior, do you want Joe Shipley's prize? It is up to you, brother. I'm going to put the laptop down, and I'm going to go search the confines of the hallowed halls of this room.
Remind you again, I will earn my own miracle.
Yeah.
I simply going with the wrestlers and let them help me get what I'm looking for to raise for this. They know what I'm capable of doing, and you see me what I can do.
Yes.
It isn't really for nothing.
I'll tell you this, fans, I am working on a perhaps mega Thanksgiving surprise tomorrow. I'm trying to bring in, after the deception of a certain individual, some known as Baby Teeth, trying to bring yet another tremendous superstar into this fine studio during the month of December, as we honor the man in the middle, the man with the urn, the one, the only man that was like a second dad to old Dan Mirade, Mr. Paul Bearer, for Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive.
Hey, Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat. Love Ricky Steamboat. He's in the ring for here.
What do we got over here? Oh, jeez. How about a velvet? You know what the first thing I came across was? A Velveteen Dream autograph photo. I don't
Hey,
think we'll be sending that
love
out to
the
the
Dream.
kids. What's that?
I love the Dream.
I liked them. Do I have anything theme-wise right under my nose that we could relate to this show at all? We got some legends, we got some oldies, we got some goodies, we got everything but trying to think of who was on this show. Quincy, yeah, why don't you put this on, brother? Oh, that's a...
You really
All right,
want me
well,
to put this thing on?
Yeah. We got a little wider
It
shot
doesn't
of you.
fit.
Well, try it.
It doesn't fit. I just tried.
Try it again.
It doesn't fit.
Are you sure?
Here, if this thing doesn't fit, okay?
All right, we
I'll wear
believe
it.
you.
I'll wear it.
If it doesn't,
But you have a big head. Apparently,
Well, I
do
don't think
too.
it's a hat. I think it's a.
The claw. I'm
Well, I
going-
guess I wasn't
Hello,
looking.
Quincy.
oh, hello, Claw.
Hello. Quincy and I are having a discussion with the claw. Hello. Charlie, why is Dan such a weirdo? I don't know. He can't help himself.
Why is Dan such a weirdo?
Why is he
Now,
so
what would make me weird under
why
the
is he so
auspices of?
mean? He's so
what-
mean.
No one would ever call me mean.
You don't like it when people say things about you.
Well, do you think I'm mean, Quincy?
I don't know about mean, but sometimes you do say things about people.
Like what?
I don't want to get into that.
Oh.
You can't figure that out for yourself now. Then,
You know, it's you know what his middle name is? Manicus. Dan Manicus.
No, Manicus is in the other room. John C. Manicus Reilly.
Manicus?
So we have Steve Regal at this point.
Billy Regal. Oh, no, that was WWE.
Steve Regal against Ricky Steamboat. And I like Ricky's tights here with the dragon. They're very RVD-ish a little bit. Ricky looked great here, too.
I can't believe that I can't find anything. Well, see, I don't have much over in this corner. How about, well, you know what? We are kind of going the Legends route. Is that kind of a safe way to say it?
I don't know if Adam Cole's a legend, but you could try that.
No. I mean, we're kind of watching an old school show.
Yeah, we are.
Well, maybe let me dig. I think I got a Hall of Fame here we can dig up. Because if it's one thing we like to do, kiddos, wherever you may be, it is try to make the fans happy. Put a smile on your face as I'm stuck here behind more bushes than a lesbian. But all right, let's see. What do you think of a prize like this, Mr. Wilson?
The picture of
Autographed 8x10.
Piper?
Nope.
Piper, Albano, and the Cowboy.
Well, it is only signed by one of the three.
It would be Orton. Yeah, let's do it for this one. Let's do it for this one. Sure.
All right. Now, do you think maybe, well, I don't want to give away any hints. I had a thought, but you know what? It's your game now, according to the tremendous Mr. Savior 888. And with that said, folks, John, see if you could cut to the center cam for a moment.
Let me see.
I was given express written consent. Punch Dan, Charlie. Wow.
I wouldn't punch you.
Matthew was really laying it in. John C. can't believe his eyes, folks.
And folks, we want
moderation is key, as always.
Well, I guess it's my turn to think of something or someone.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. No, Christ Savior says no prize is no fun. Well, we already announced this one, Joey. So we're going with it, brother. Where the hell is my mic clip? Here we go.
All right. I am...
I'll tell you this, as you think of this, I am excited about returning to the Big Apple for the first time since this year, at least.
Well, I'm
and all my trips, probably 50 to 60 times I've been to that great city.
What part of New York are you going to?
The one in New York.
What part of New York?
The city.
What are you going to do there?
Quincy and I are going looking for women.
Is that going to be successful?
If he's there, absolutely.
All right.
Now, fans, don't forget, if you are in a responsible place in the comfort of your own home, it is Blackout Wednesday, folks. Salute. Yeah.
Okay, I believe I have my answer. I have my answer.
Let the games begin. Is Ricky Steamboat and William Regal, I believe, going at it? Is it for the TV title at this point? Back in December of '93?
Might have been already for this point. I'm not sure.
I know Dustin and Austin are on this show, but I believe that was a U.S. title match. And did you point out to the fine folks at home who the manager was for William Regal?
Bill Dundee.
Otherwise known as here as
Sir William.
Sir William.
Yeah, I like Bill Dundee a lot. Very smart guy. You look at pictures of him now, seems like a nice old man. But
told he was a tremendous booker.
Yeah.
His daughter recently passed away, who was married to beautiful Bobby Eaton, who recently passed away.
Jamie Dundee is still out there.
Yeah, he's still in the business.
Jamie Dundee is
he
out
doesn't
with
have
both
the
of them.
accent, though. But
yeah. Jamie Dundee be interested in this chair. What do you think about having Jamie Dundee here?
You know, the thing is, I might not be the guy for that interview because I don't know that much about Memphis territorial wrestling. Does that make any sense?
All right.
Now, if you'd be interested in bringing him in and being able to shoot with Jamie, I'm not opposed. I just don't know if I'm the guy to pull it off. It's like a lot of people say, well, why don't you bring blah, blah, blah in from TNA? And it's like, well, I'd have to do an awful lot of research. Like the guys that we have with our general theme, I don't need to do much research. I could probably do it off the top of my head. Now, I go back just to verify certain things. But I don't need. I lived part of it, and I watched it extensively, and I loved it extensively,
me,
depending upon how old I was.
It's
at the
not
time.
really even that hard to research. The internet has so many things going. The internet has so many options to look up and read these different things.
Oh, I know, but I mean, for me to try and put together 4 episodes with someone, I mean,
also
it's a lot of research.
Let's say this: Memphis, just for example, that was a 6-day-a-week territory for years and years and years. That had everyone coming and going. So there's a lot to dive into. If you said to Jamie Dundee, Jamie, we're going to talk about the year 1993 in the USWA, you could technically cover a lot depending on how granular you want to go. You could talk the finances, the territory schedule. I still wish there was a Memphis for guys to go to.
Oh, sure.
You know, I think every wrestler should have done that for at least 2 months just to say they did it. You'd be a lot better.
I think it was wise in the late 90s and the early 2000s that WWF would send talent there at that point before they started to develop OVW and then Hotland with a good, long-time, close personal friend, the one and only Les Thatcher, one of the most underrated minds in this business. What I wish we could have done with that guy over the years.
Anyway, so Joey asked the first question, is it a thing? It is not a thing. One question down. Not a thing, Joey.
So nice to have nice folk with us tonight.
Yes.
Hopefully Maria Davis doesn't fall in the oven with her turkey. But
I don't know. I know.
Hello, Pittsburgh. What's that now?
Perso.
Perso.
Perso. Maybe person?
I think maybe if you got the N.
It is a person. We're going to go back to another
Well,
person.
you're not sure if that's what he meant, though. You might be giving him a freebie.
No, that's true. That's true. I'm gonna be nice to you, Joey. I'm gonna say that you're trying to say person. It's a person.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jason, wherever you may be. Where are you from? Let us know. Look at a couple of texts here. Wait, let's see.
WCW star. Well, they were in WCW. I don't know if they were a star, but they were in WCW. 17 questions left. Actually, no, 16 questions left. No, 17, right?
I believe 17.
Was this person ever Intercontinental Champion? No. So 16 left. 16 left, not Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, that was the Google verification.
Were they there during 93?
Were they where?
WCW. They were not there, and oh, hold on, let me think. If they were there, Joey, they were just leaving, but I don't think they were there. I'm going to say no. But it's very close. I'm going to say no, though.
Friend Jason is about 30 miles south of the Cow Palace. So, I have to say, I don't think I've ever been to the Cow Palace.
15 questions left.
I'd love to go to the Cow Palace. That's one of the last traditional spots left.
Did a valet or manager accompany them to the ring? No.
Salute.
No. 14 questions left.
You want one of these, Quincy? A
Joey,
beverage?
It was a wrestler. 13
a
questions
beverage?
left. It was a wrestler. 13 questions left.
I have water.
Oh, you have your own. Okay. I wouldn't want you riding the bike after this.
Brunette. Were they brunette? They were brunette. I'm sorry. No, they were actually no. They were
Water that makes you thirst no more. I have.
They were a blonde.
Okay.
It's a nice recovery.
What?
Did you get that, Mirade?
You sounded like a turkey tomorrow trying to survive Thanksgiving.
The gobbledygooker.
Mirade?
I heard you, Quincy.
Over
Water
under
makes you
six.
thirst no more.
Did you see this? I saw this picture.
Holy water.
You know the picture, the famous picture of God and man doing the finger touch?
Yes.
Someone took that. They had God. I don't know. You'd hate this, Quincy, because you're so religious. They had God and the gobbledygooker on the other. They were like just touching fingers. I laughed hard.
I don't think Quincy's familiar with the gobbledygook.
Over under 6'2". They were kind of at that build height. They were right there. They might have been an inch or two over, but they were right there. I know that's a little tough. So that's 12 questions left. Matt Holland says Dan is gay. If he is, that's his business. Matt Schmidt, did the Gobbledygooker ever win the IC title? No, unfortunately.
I don't ever remember him having a match outside of maybe that gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania
But
17.
Vince brought the egg back.
Well, not that one.
Yeah.
But the Survivor Series egg tradition continued.
Yeah.
Imagine if Quincy ever popped out of the egg. The reaction he would have got at the Hartford Civic Center dancing with Mean Gene.
Well, I can only imagine if, I saw the picture of all the released talents and it had Vince with the egg saying, "Can I offer you an egg in this shrine of times?" It was a reference to a show. But Vince, to me, I love Vince more and more because of how ridiculous he is. He's now become a parody of himself. I love it.
I'll tell you this. I bet if you actually came on Sunday, you would have found the show to be decent, if not good.
Really?
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And you know me, I am.
And
I share my thoughts as I
No,
see them.
and you know me, I don't like their current product at all. I think some of the wrestlers are great, but their current product is. Were they in a main event? Yes, they were. 11 questions left. They were in a main event.
Dan got boned. Quincy, I told you to keep it in your pants. Well, I'm telling you what they're saying on the internet.
All right, I'm just sitting here while I'm talking about wrestling with you.
All right, thank you.
I think
Anyone got more questions?
I'm looking forward to the perhaps meeting of one of the colossal meetings of life.
Mid-Carter. Joey, they were a mid-Carter. They at one point, yes. Closer to 200 or 300 pounds. We got to go by build weights, right?
Yes.
I'd say build weights, they were closer to 200. And now that I think about it, height-wise, they were probably just under 6'2". Dan likes the meat puppet.
No, Tom. Quincy's right here. You didn't miss him.
Maybe some people like Dan's meat puppet.
No.
No one likes the meat puppet. No.
Linda crushed all hope there ever was for the meat puppet.
talk about the guy that I was telling you about.
Nope, it was not Pillman. 9 questions left.
Himself on a
Who
bike
killed himself?
and almost killed himself. The puppet, the one and only
They don't know the puppet.
Tom Zank was not Tom Zank, Phil, but that's a good guess.
He liked the meat puppet.
Tom Zank was a blonde, so yeah. No, it wasn't a blonde. So
he was more of a brunette, I would say.
Yeah, it was a blonde guy, or at least he was blonde at one point, I should say. But yeah, we have 8 questions left. Phil, you can't retract it though. You can put it out there.
Phil is trying to retract his.
Phil, I know you're a little bit
This is
of
20
hustler.
questions.
I tried to retract my answer and they wouldn't let me retract it. Did they ever join the
I'm going
interview?
to tell you
They did
this
not.
before we continue.
8 questions left.
The weekend of December 11th and 12th, the potential meeting of life in a universe that from the unknown, Quincy Rastani and John Nord.
I don't want to be there for that one.
Oh, are you kidding me? You should be charged if you're there for that.
Gosh. Van Hammer, it was not Van Hammer. We're going to go with, I think, 6 questions left.
Oh, wait, Quincy, we have a question for you. Can I ask him that one?
Sure.
Quincy Stud Bourbon wants to know, do you have any Coke or horror stories?
Not Stunning Steve Austin. 5 questions left. Not Stunning Steve. There's 5 questions left, ladies and gentlemen. 5 questions left.
Just Coca-Cola, all right?
That's it. But do you have any horror stories?
We don't go around calling girls whores. How many times have I
Well, the fan asked it. It wasn't me.
I'm telling you this, Mariah.
What about the women from Colt Cutters, the barbershop?
He was a singles wrestler, but he also did some tag teams. But
we can't play too many flavors right now.
So do you have a favorite whore?
I just told you, we don't say that.
I think he was part of some tag teams, but he was mostly known as a singles guy. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to say 3 questions left, guys, because technically Joe Shipley asked, was he part of a tag team? I'm going to go with 3 questions. He might have been part of a team that was thrown together for a short time, but not like a big team.
Very limited run if they had one.
Yes, very small run. So I'm not going to count that. Three questions left. You guys, come on, go back in time. You got to go back in time a little bit. Come on.
Did the fans ask you, not that I want to steal one of their questions, but did they ask you for an era?
Well, they asked if he was in WCW in this era at 93, but it was right at the end of his run if he was. Where he might have left. Lex Luger, nope. Paul Orndorff, nope. 1 question left. You're going to have to say he was just under 6'2". I think I answered that question. He was close to 200 pounds. He was blonde. He was in WCW roughly around this time. He was a mid-card guy at points in his career. So think about that. If you have to ask one more question.
Tex Schlesinger.
If you, I'll tell you what. If the next person can
The
even
future Godwins.
Joe Shipley got it again. Tommy Rich.
Now, you were a big Tommy fan.
Joe, you and I, this is a work, brother, because the fact that he got on the last guess.
He's getting in your mind.
Yeah, on the last guess. Joe Shipley, you're right. It's Tommy Rich. And that means you won this 8x10 of the Captain Lou, the original Captain Lou.
Yeah, not that other one.
Piper, Captain Lou, Manicus Albano, Captain Bob, Manicus Orton, and Hot Rod, Roddy, Manicus Piper.
Signed in Dallas at WrestleCon 2016, the weekend of WrestleMania 32, I believe. If you want to store it now.
Joe, it's yours.
I don't know if Joey ever answered, but Joe wanted to give his first prize, the Adam Cole poster, to Christ Savior. Did Christ Savior accept this holiday gift? I don't know. I had to get up. Joe, do you want the Bob Orton picture?
They might give it a cold beverage.
This turned into a very underrated tag team before Kevin Sullivan wanted the position when he realized how over they were getting. Joey, you wanted the 11x14. All right, can you just update me, email me your address so I have it handy? Thank you, Phil. See, that's why we need you around, brother. But we do have, we are trying to work out the logistics with Marty Jannetty to hopefully be with us back in December. We have that active Indiegogo campaign going. I'm going to try and find the link. The Berserker John Nord, after everything fell apart due to the passing of his dad, is going to be with us in the month of December, I believe the 11th and the 12th. We have great talk shows coming your way. Last night we had a New Jack Marathon that's online. If you're doing some Thanksgiving traveling and want to hear about his wildlife in the USWA, Smoky Mountain, in the world of extreme. Tonight at 10, it is the premiere of the Alondra Blaze Medusa shoot interview. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m., I won't even you, Sir Charles. We have the Thursday night party with Marty. It is a very somber edition, as Marty recalls Thanksgivings of yesteryear, Thanksgivings that have gone by. I think maybe it'll make fans understand him a little more.
Well, you know, Marty is a very interesting person. Got a lot of stories. I know he's coming back very soon. And
we hope.
What's that?
The Indiegogo, it is at about, I don't know what it's at, about 17% right now. So
how much money
is that?
Start. How much money would that
about
be?
$5,000. No. I wish. We wouldn't have any problems if that was the case.
I haven't looked at it. I think you might have told me about it, but I haven't looked at it.
Well, it is getting a lot of plugs on our social media.
Can we start
I know
Indiegogo?
Marty and Quincy are looking forward to seeing each other.
Can we start Indiegogo for Quincy's bike?
Maybe after this and the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive.
But
we got a lot on our plate in the month of December between Marty, the in-studio shoots, the Paul Bearer Toy Drive, John C. Manicus Reilly in the booth.
That's one of my problems that'll be solved now.
What is that, Quincy?
Well, what did
Salute.
you mention?
What's that?
All right, salute.
Salute.
And we have a picture of Kerry Von Erich and Michael Hayes, and one had a glass of milk, the one had a glass of Jack Daniels.
I don't know if John C. is going to partake in the Blackout Wednesday.
You get your turkey yet?
Yep, I have a turkey at home. I have a turkey at home.
No.
How big is it?
About pretty big, 20-something pounds.
27 pounds.
About that, probably 25 pounds. Maybe.
So you have a big family, I take it.
Well, not really immediate
like
family,
turkey, yeah.
but there's some people coming over.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's very awesome.
Now, the Rastani Thanksgiving is going to be a little small this year because Eleanor's in the hospital.
You're going to have Billy Earl?
Julie.
She went for a follow-up and they took her back in because they're they found the same thing as what brought them in there in the first place. But they're
Oh.
taking care of it right now as we speak.
Okay,
I
very
just
cool.
got a phone call, and so we can't take the treatment away from her that she needs, but if she doesn't come home tomorrow, she will come home very soon.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
But the problem that's brought her in there in the first place is being taken care of.
That's good. That's good. Good.
So
to
what are
hear.
you going to have for Thanksgiving dinner, Quincy?
Turkey and stuffing.
Yeah, you like the stuffing.
Dan, do you like the stuffing?
No, I do not. I like very few things that go along with the traditional Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, geez. That was a little scary on that one.
You don't like stuffing?
I'm not a stuffing guy, no.
I'm not a stuffing guy either.
I
You
like
like
turkey. I like a little...
I love stuffing. Come on now, I could eat that any time of year.
I'm talking about what I like, not you. I like a little hot bread, and I like my carrots.
All right.
Like
I'm an
carrot.
easy guy.
All right.
And a little, broccoli with a lot of pepper.
Really?
That's something I really enjoy.
Are
I
you
love
a big
it with
foodie?
a lot of pepper.
Are you a big foodie, or you just kind of eat whatever?
No. I'm the polar opposite.
Really? Are you? What does that mean? You're just a guy who just eat kind of
I
like.
like what I like. I'm not one of these people that goes around looking for plates with, little meals the size of someone's teeth, just to say they had something fancy. That's not I. I'm
Well,
very unfancy, as you know, in my
Yeah.
as someone that's seen what
I would say there's two types of people who are into food. One that we know, Manicus, who's a bit of a food snob. Then there's people who are they'll eat whatever.
Yeah. Manicus was having a little odd food.
Manicus,
odd.
Manicus is very particular on the food.
Particular about a lot of things, except his camera shots.
I'll say this. I think if I have this thing, everyone's picky about something. Some people are picky about things. Some people are picky about food. I'm picky about people.
I'm picky about the things I won't eat. I think I don't know if you've come to realize that, but I have some bizarre phobias in my world.
You are bizarre.
Food things are one of them.
Well, I could say that I'm picky on food myself, but I'm really picky about people. That's what I'm picky
Well, you
about.
couldn't be with any finer company in the studio right now.
No, I really picked a Cracker Jack job, I think, but
And the man in the control room,
oh my God.
JCMR.
Speaking of food, is there going to be a trip to the satellite office?
I certainly hope so. It's been yet another long day here at the fine.
I want the people know who the satellite office is.
Only if they pay membership dues to be able to attend.
So you wouldn't want me to
satellite
tell them
office
what
with us. No. We don't want anyone showing up waiting for us.
waiting for you there.
I know it's a relatively short visit, but I still wouldn't want anyone in the parking lot.
Manicus was afraid that some of your fans might pay him a visit.
Yes, I don't know if the fans can read between the lines on that, but a certain recent enemy to the program that sabotaged the toy drive was afraid that you fine folks were going to go after him.
To be fair, there was one individual who made some comments. And I said,
This is truthful?
there was one individual who made some weird comments.
You've actually seen it, or are you taking it secondhand?
I saw it.
Okay. And what were they, if you don't mind saying, out of curiosity?
They were just something of a friend, an enemy of Dan's is an enemy of mine. And just some,
Do you remember who it was?
I could find it and
I
show it.
don't want you to say it on the air, but
No, I'll
afterwards
just
I'd
show
like
you.
to know. But I respect you, whoever you may be.
Respect who?
The person that made that comment.
Well, I mean, it was a little
Shouldn't
much.
have to peg it, too.
Let's see.
Matthew, what is it with some of these things? I know you come in good fun, but, stud bourbon. I like eating Asian, and I ain't talking about food. Have you ever made love to an Asian woman, Quincy? No. Would you?
Marty, why don't we just change the subject?
All right. Back to some tag team action here at Starrcade 93. Future WWE Hall of Famer and World Champion Cactus Jack and Max Payne, who was not, taking on the future Godwins, Tex Schlesinger and Shanghai Pierce.
Here's the individual. And I think Manicus was...
Well, I respect him.
Well, you know,
And I'm going to tell him I respect him in private.
I was able to talk to the individual that has been causing some issues, and I'll be honest, I still like the guy a lot personally. I was a little disappointed in how he handled certain things, and I felt like when I tried to mention that, he wasn't very open to that idea.
Well, other than handling everything wrong, he didn't do too much.
You know what it felt like if I burned down your city and I had the key to the city, and I said, if I give this to you, is everything okay? You know, and I love you, buddy, as a person, but you know, I just think you handled it wrong. That's all.
And then sending tattletale texts on top of it.
What's that?
Sending tattletale texts on top of it.
Well, you know,
I thought that was a little much for a man in his early 20s.
Well,
that isn't in the second grade.
I felt like I was trying to fight a man's battles, and I was annoyed with that. It wasn't my job to do that.
No.
I was able to play the middleman before that happened.
Salute.
I was able to play. I didn't mind playing middleman and being the liaison before that issue exploded. I was very open to that idea, but you know.
And I respect you for that because it just shows you care.
Yeah. It didn't have to go that situation, but it's just not my style. I would have done something different if I were him. That's all.
Well, you can't change the past. You can only work with what you have present day.
I would have done.
Then I saw the footage and I almost choked.
You have to show me this footage that you.
You'd cry.
Oh no! Let me just see it afterwards.
Kyle Petty, for those, I believe he's a racer. Or was a racer.
He looks like a professional Gallagher impersonator.
He's a NASCAR driver. I don't know if Kyle's still with us, but WCW always went for those Southern-type superstars at this point in time that no one really knew outside of a few states. You know what I mean?
Well, they were always a Southern company. Even at their heyday, they were always seen as a Southern company, which isn't a terrible thing. But at the same time, it doesn't really, you know, I mean, up here, it's like, I think because New York is a big media capital, and the South at that time didn't really have it. Now Nashville is huge. Nashville and Atlanta, I mean, it's so much bigger now, but Texas.
Joe, before I forget to ask again, did you want the Cowboy Bob Orton autograph photo, or did you want to gift that as well? We'd like to know, just so we can prepare our packages of love. Quincy Rastani does a lot of our great mail work on Thursdays. They love him at the post office.
Big Q.
They love him at Shaw's.
Quincy, have you gone to Shaw's lately?
Yeah.
Do you like Shaw's?
Do
you like it more than Market Basket?
I don't know. Just basic, nice places. You know, they get milk and a few other things.
Do you like Whole Foods?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
he wouldn't. Quincy wouldn't spend the money to go to Whole Foods. Let me just, someone that knows him well. Let me tell you.
I worked in an establishment where the woman called it a whole paycheck. That's what she's like. I went to Whole Foods, or I like to call it whole paycheck. She was interesting.
Oh, what's wrong with Whole Foods?
No, nothing. But she just was telling me it's expensive.
Quincy has a longtime close personal friend that works at Shaw's named Thurman Merman.
Marty, you know,
I can tell you some stories about this woman, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It was a very weird place I worked at.
These things are just not true, Mirade, that you keep saying.
Thurman Merman isn't a real character?
Don't listen to these things that he keeps
doesn't
on
like
telling you, they're just not true.
And we got my favorite version of Steve Austin, stunning Steve Austin.
You like this better than Stone Cold?
Stone Cold, Schmone Cold. Stunning Steve. Oh, I love Stunning Steve. I love Stone Cold too, but Stunning Steve is very underrated. Steve Austin here was at his physical prime, his best ring work. Stone Cold was his best character work.
Look at this guy.
I love that hat. It's a great hat.
A little rope in the front. Almost looks like they took it from Quincy's ear.
I love that. Now, if Austin had come into WWF with this look, he probably wouldn't have been the top guy he became.
Well, he kind of did.
Well,
if you look at the original ringmaster look,
that was different.
Late '95.
That was a buzzed head with a.
This is the natural, baby. Yeah, I thought this one was for the U.S.
Dustin Rhodes, the best worker of his family.
I remember enjoying this match very much as I watched it on pay-per-view live. from the comfort of old Mirade Estates in Melrose back when I was here.
Really?
Full time.
And he's with the Colonel Robert Parker, a.k.a. Buddy Fuller?
Too tall, Robert.
Robert
Too
Fuller.
tall for a manager, in my opinion.
He was
Good,
a good
Southern mouthpiece, but just too tall.
What do you think is a good height for a manager? 5'6"?
Under the height of the wrestler.
Okay. So the wrestler's
William,
6'4".
what was his name? Little Sir William. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Dundee might have been 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
Might
And
be
that's being very generous. John C., could you cut to the shot where we thank our great fans that have contributed so much of late? All right. Thank you, Mr. C. I don't know if you'd like to partake, but you are a welcome invited guest. I brought
Quincy or
extra
me?
cups. What's that?
Quincy or me?
I don't think Quincy could ride the bike home at that point.
I'm good, but thank you, though. Thank you, though.
Well, and the same could be said for the car service that you rent to come here to MWF Studios. Fans, back to the hard camera, as we like to say. Wait a minute. John C. All right, well, you know what? You can't say no to C. Of course. It's Thanksgiving Eve, kid. You're not driving anywhere.
Considering I don't have a license now.
Well, you didn't have to say that out loud, but Rastani's hustling.
What time do you want to leave?
Yeah, no, I think they're at 9 o'clock, the latest, what.
For you,
today's
Mr. C.
Thanksgiving
Thank
Eve,
you. Thank you.
Do you want-
Refills are
well,
free,
are you
as we
able to
like to
ride
say.
home?
Oh, yeah, no, I have the bike. with
He's
me.
got the
I just
bike.
don't
You
want
didn't
to
see
get
it
too
that it
much,
said Quincy out
bigger
front?
up, so I could drive home. Was what I'm saying. Weather-wise.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably gonna be staying till the end of this. But do you need someone to help you get home?
I have the bike. Is what I'm saying. Is it going to be super cool weather out later? Is what I'm asking.
I'll look at the weather for you right now, Quincy.
Do you want me to? Well, how far do you live from
I
here?
don't let that.
No, he's got his motorcycle.
No.
He
But how
doesn't-
far
oh.
do you? I know how far do you live from here?
Stop.
Well, how many minutes?
10 minutes, 20 minutes tops,
Would you like me to follow you home?
if you want down there. But as long as it isn't too super better, because I'm a very safe, careful driver.
It's probably about 40 degrees outside right now.
45.
Well, by the time we leave Quincy, it says it should be about 36 degrees.
It's gonna be
I
chill.
better leave soon then, because it's going to get cool.
A little cool, yeah. Now, how come you haven't brought out that gigantic 5 extra large winter coat that you
Problem
wore?
is, if I leave, am I
I'll
gonna want
leave
to come
right now,
back?
and that'll come out later when I get blizzards.
What?
You were asking about my coat.
Yeah. Oh, if you,
We don't know. Might
you
as well.
haven't lived until you've
Um,
seen Quincy's winter jacket.
He likes my winter coat.
You should burn it out.
No, it looks almost like a tent.
Yeah,
I remember the first time I was standing in front of the studio window, and I didn't even know it was Quincy. I just saw this gigantic, it looked like an igloo with legs. And I said, what the fuck is that? And then as it approached the studio, I realized it was Quincy. All right,
Really?
Quincy, you want to go now? I'll lock the
It's
door
like,
behind you.
Yeah, because it's going to be better.
Charlie will have to cover for me.
Listen, all of you, seriously, have a good holiday.
Yeah.
Every single, all the injured people, like I said, to name a few, Teddy's in the hospital, I got word. So we wish him very speedy, fast recovery. And whoever else needs medical attention, and just in general, have a good holiday. And I guess we will talk again very soon.
Are you going to shoot one tonight?
In the world of I can't. In the world of NWF, the National Wrestling League. So
The National Wrestling
well, how do
League.
you put Mirade?
Well, I mean, this is the last. I mean, it's a big night because this is the last Thursday of November, or tomorrow is the
Why
last.
are you laughing at me?
Because we'll be just
I'm
going.
not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fun we have.
I may not see you for a little bit because Thursday we were just doing Thursday nights watch-alongs for November, and
Is this the end?
this might be the end.
Even though it's a Wednesday.
Well, this is the last Wednesday in
Well, it's
November.
This is the last weeknight one, mate, potentially.
Well,
Yes,
How
yes.
many weeks is it until New Year's? Not that far off, right?
No, not too many weeks.
Should we go live on New Year's Eve for the Quincy dance party?
Oh God. Oh Lord, do you think there's enough time in the new year to have that dance party?
I do.
No.
I think if they tip a certain amount.
does it
Did
turn
you
you
ever
on
see
to
the
watch
movie
Quincy?
Major League?
Yes.
Much like that
So I might as
statue
well
of
say it right now.
the owner of the female of the baseball team.
Happy New Year
Maybe
as well,
Quincy, for
okay?
certain amounts, could lose certain clothing.
I'll say it right now.
For his
Happy New
bike.
Year.
How bad does he want it?
Well,
Did you just say Happy New Year?
yeah, we'll say it right
Quincy,
now.
it's
before I
November
forget,
24th.
Okay? That way,
Just in case we
it
don't
goes
see
out
her
to
for a while.
everyone.
Yeah.
Quincy, you want me to help you get your bike loaded up?
It's loaded. All I gotta do is I gotta get my helmet coat. That's it.
Everything with
I want to
Quincy
see the
is
startup. I'm going to
loaded.
come out with you for a minute. I want to see you
Sure.
start up. I'll be
So
back.
Anyway,
I'll be back.
Do you know how to lock up just in case?
Why would they locking up?
Well, I want the front door locked.
Oh, yes, I know how to lock.
Okay.
so anyway, happy
Pretty sure I do.
Thanksgiving.
I'll figure it out. Do I just have to lock it from the
Merry
inside?
Yeah,
Christmas
you just
and a
gotta keep
Happy New
turning.
Year. And we will talk again soon.
Yes.
So good night, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
it's always a pleasure to have Quincy Rastani with us live in the studio.
I'll be back momentarily, folks.
It's up to our good friend Charlie Wilson fans. Those super chats help if we want to keep the weeknight tradition rolling. That a certain individual with birdseed-sized teeth ruined. I don't know if the pigeons ever tried to attack him, but thinking it was birdseed. But
Anyway.
Quincy, now look at Quincy's. Doesn't that look like masking tape above his crotch?
Marty, you just don't know when to quit.
Quincy likes to go to
Alrighty, you know.
consignment shops, I
So
guess.
what? What are you criticizing me for?
I'm not criticizing you, Quincy, but when you go, you should at least try and find the size that fits.
We'll have to cut this promo off, and until next time.
You and the Chris Christopher outfit. I don't know, John C. Manicus Reilly. Quincy, say good night to John C. Quincy.
Seriously, like I said, all of you have a real, have a nice Thanksgiving, happy, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Before, you know, that New Year's coming.
Quincy's having fun as he leaves with his free Starbucks cup.
Quincy's getting cold, we're gonna go. I'll see you soon, okay? Bye, everyone.
Wrestling fans, back to the action without the distraction. That rhymed. Dustin Rhodes and Steve Austin for the United States Championship. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was this not 2 out of 3 falls? Who do we got with us still? Dan, will you be live for day 1? Is that the New Year's Day pay-per-view? I would say probably. Oh, you guys missed the Quincy versus Dans that don't take place on camera. No, Captain Lou is not with us. Have Annie on the show for Christmas. I don't know about that. Santa baby. Matt Daddy is not with us tonight, otherwise known as Socko. Your daughter works at Starbucks. I think Quincy goes to a food pantry, and Starbucks is kind enough to donate cups that he hustles and brings down here, much like he did his free turkey. Dan had a bubble bath. I think, unless Michael had a big bathtub, I don't think I'd fit in the bubble bath. Brian, unless I'm in Hotlanta, I would like to be here live on New Year's night. A lot of it depends on John C. Manicus Reilly. Yeah, Annie, I'd love to hear Annie's rendition of Santa Baby. To be very, very, very honest, I would like that. If we're going to be here for the WWE Day 1 pay-per-view, New Year's night. Not to be confused with New Year's Eve, which is a much busier night. To me, New Year's night is a lot like Christmas night. There's not a heck of a lot to do. The Eves are the big ones to me. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, blah, blah, blah. Even if your middle name is Manicus. All right, well, don't overdo it with the cup. The gift of joy that was presented to you moments ago. Hopefully all of you fans at home, if you are in a safe place at home, you can join us for a little Blackout Wednesday. Salute. Don't forget to tip the bartender. I guess tonight I'm the bartender because I was filling it up for John C. All right, Dan, kiss Charlie. Mwah! Thank you, Charlie, for being here. Again, big things happening in the month of November. We are hoping to have, I know John C. and I have spoken about Just Incredible, perhaps as soon as Sunday. We're hoping to have Just Incredible back Sunday to take more episodes of Wrestling Insiders Extreme. Great guest. Matt T., I don't know where you're located, but if you check out the Indiegogo campaign we have ongoing for Marty Jannetty right now, we have the ability for you guys to partake in a private session with Marty. You get Marty, but you got to pay for your own meal for the price, and trying to help keep the show alive. I'm going to put the link in the premiere chat, but you know, where else can you have that experience? It's limited to just 10 people. Mr. Wonderful, I agree with you 110%. The conversations I've personally had with him have me really excited about having him in the studio, talking about the Berserker John Nord, if you're not reading the chat song. Matthew, I've asked you before, please, you know what? If you want to come in good fun and have some jokes, that's cool. We don't do the deaths. I don't like it. I don't want to put you on timeout or ban you. Just please don't do that. That's a very, very serious thing to me, where we've lost so many in our brotherhood. Queen Bench, I have to be honest, I've heard of the band. I probably know some of their songs. I'm not a huge music guy. You know, you give me the song, I could probably hum along or give you a few words to it. If you give me a band's name, have you ever heard of them? Yes. But I'm not good at putting those puzzle pieces together. That's just me. I'm going to put up the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo in the premiere chat box. If you want to donate as little as $1 to thousands, if you like, and make sure we keep partying every Thursday night, this is the place to go, folks. We're off to a good start. I think it's like 16, 17% right now. It's a good, solid start. Obviously, we'd like to hit 100 just like that, but it's the nature of the beast. It's the holiday season, but we want to keep Marty here in the studio. We want to keep Marty, Berserker, Just Incredible, all these great wrestling legends working. We can't do it without you guys. I'm also working on someone we've tossed around a few dates. All I can say is sometime in December. If you're a merchandise collector, someone you're definitely going to want us to have around this time of year, if you collect certain things. And I don't want to give too many hints because it's not solidified. And I hate to be the guy that says, oh, we're going to have blah, 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 and then it doesn't happen. Like I was upset about how Wrestle House 2 fell apart. For those fans that missed it, there's a little Dan Mirade podcast on the YouTube channel. I'm furious. I'm insulted. I'm pissed off. You know, I'll say it, Captain Lou Dater and his partner in crime, Din Fan, they said they were willing to and wanted to go down to the great state of Tampa, or the great city of Tampa, Florida, to partake in Wrestle House 2 for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive in honor of this man. We had Jerry Briscoe lined up, who we announced. We had Dutch Mantell, a.k.a. Zeb Coulter, lined up, who we announced. We also had Bushwhacker Luke, the Native American Tatanka, and some others I was still negotiating with. And to have to tell all those guys, no, you're out of work, because one man chose to have no character and no integrity and baby-sized teeth, you know, I'm insulted by that, and I'm angry about it. And then he sent these little pussy, cowardly emails, pussy, cowardly text messages to the TV studio. Oh, you put out a video with my name on it. Oh, poor me, poor me. You know what? If you want to avoid situations like that in this capacity or any capacity in life, it's simple. Be a man of your word. It is simple. Be someone that lives with character and integrity. Then you don't have people jobbing you out. Look at me. I have character and integrity. Look at the nonsense I had to deal with Tony Atlas this year. Please, a thief jobbing me out online. I can take it, baby. But let me tell you something. I can take it, but I hit back just as hard. I may be semi-dilapidated with that car crash I was in. But anyway, Are you going to have, Matthew, come on. No, we're not going to have Vince McMahon for a cyber signing. Gregor, welcome if I didn't say hello to you. Steely Band is named after a women's sex toy. I did not know that. What would Steely Dan's, a couple of their biggest hits be that I might recognize? Matt, I should say, Koch, and my Thanksgiving Day plans are to be here to edit great video content for you guys. See? There's love in this heart for you guys. Is Christ Savior and John Cena Sr. trying? Oh, this was a fun part of the match with Dustin Rhodes and Austin when the lights started going off and on. But, yeah, I'll probably visit with some family for maybe 1 to 3, very short. I'm not, what's odd for me is family members don't get what we do in our world. And sometimes when you're enclosed in the wrestling bubble, it's difficult to try and communicate it to them. So it's kind of awkward. I feel very awkward at a lot of family endeavors and things like that for a lot of reasons. But, that's primarily it. They just don't get what we do. They don't particularly like or have an interest in what we do. And where it is my passion 24/7, along with, the 2 junior ambassadors, little Mirades, what is there to converse about? You know what I mean? So it's kind of odd, a little uncomfortable at times, but it is what it is. I'll have a little turkey. I'll have my broccoli with hopefully a lot of pepper on it, and maybe a couple of dinner rolls, piping hot with just a little butter. Then Friday, I'm probably not going to be in this venue at all, which is almost historic and legendary, as John C. I don't know if he's got the cup or not, but no.
Tell me that Charlie's trying out the Quincy cycle.
He's trying it out.
He got on it.
Oh, look at the blood on Steve Austin's face. He's on it right now.
I was just getting off when
He was getting off. Wait a minute. I don't need to know about that. But I wish you took some video footage of that. I would have loved to have seen Charlie on the Quincy mobile. But, well, if you need a refill, you know where to find it, brother. Just got to switch the camera shot. Let me tell you got to have a little pepper with broccoli. That's just me. We love you, Dan, for presenting us a Thanksgiving version. Let me tell you, the episode we have tomorrow night at 10 p.m. with Marty Jannetty for Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty that we're trying to save. Right now, it's the second to last episode that we have. Wow, is it sad? Not in a, we've had our moments with Marty this year, but you don't just see the human side of Marty Jannetty in this episode, you feel the human side of Marty Jannetty in this episode. I don't know if Phil was with us when we taped the Thanksgiving episode. Would have been back in September, but as I edited it today, it reminded me of just how sad it was. If any of you are interested in watching it and joining the Boston Wrestling Patreon family, I'm going to put the link up right now. And you can watch it now, early, full screen, ad-free experience, and you're helping keep Wrestling Legends working. I am still trying to finish up that WrestleMania 4 Demolition Axe watch-along when he, for the very first time, he believes, watches him and Smash win the tag team titles from Strike Force at WrestleMania 4. I want to get this up for you. Stud, if we're hoping to get Marty back on the show, but we're running out of episodes, if you want to check out that Indiegogo campaign, anywhere from $1 to $10,000, we'll take it, because it just means more great content we have. Marty right now has a little crazy living situation going on, so we're trying to help him with that. But if we could have the Marty Jannetty that was with us on November 13th, my God, he was exceptional. He was great. I don't know if we have any or how many fans other than maybe Phil that were with us live on November 13th, but if we had that Marty every time, the content we could create. Phil says, I want to take Quincy to the gym and chronicle the event for Boston Wrestling. Phil, you want to know what's funny? You have seen Quincy's pretty much the wardrobe that he wears, which is that, hand-me-down consignment shop dress shirt and consignment dress pants that are too big. But occasionally he'll come across free passes to go to a gym in Stoneham where he lives, and he will legitimately go and work out in that same outfit. He doesn't have gym clothes. He just has the one outfit before he gets naked at night, changes after he takes his shower, and then he puts on the next day's outfit. He has 7 different wardrobes. He's a unique guy, but he's a good guy. Wasn't that the big event? You lost me on that one, Matt T. Dan, you pork and cheese. You lost me on that one. Matt, oh my God, WrestleMania 3, if it's not my favorite event, it's got to be one of them. If we haven't done a WrestleMania 3 one, I'm almost ashamed, and it's definitely got to be on the list for March of 2022. Oh, I mean, just because it was the first WrestleMania that I was around for as a fan, I remember being so disappointed as a kid that Melrose didn't have a cable yet, so we couldn't order it. The only way to see WrestleMania 3 live was to go to one of the closed circuit outlets, which to me would have been the Boston Garden. And I had a hard enough time getting my dad to take me to the shows at the Garden every month. He was not going to spend a Sunday night taking me to the Garden to watch it on a movie screen. But luckily, he had a friend that lived in a city that did have cable, and for the pay-per-views, he'd tape them for me, and then he'd bring them home on Monday, and I'd get to watch it. So I saw WrestleMania 3 the day after it happened. But I tell you this, to show you guys that may not be familiar how hot wrestling was, the nightly news here in Boston had a recap of the Hogan, Savage, and King Kong Bundy splash in the midgets. You imagine, your regular nightly news covering that in 2021? Come on. Right now we have ravishing Rick Rude taking on his buddy. I believe he was the boss here, Ray Traylor, the former Big Boss Man. I have no idea why Michael Buffer is in the ring. This must be for that, was it called the international title at this point? At this point, for those fans that may be wondering, what on earth is going on? Vader was the WCW World Champion, and Rick Rude was the NWA World Champion. But then WCW cut ties with the National Wrestling Alliance, but the big gold belt was theirs. So there was a little confusion going on there, and then they renamed what was the NWA World title and future WCW World Championship title. When they did the unification in 1994, it was dubbed the International title. WrestleMania 3, monumental. Do you remember, Phil, off the top of your head? I know you got a great memory for our industry. What was the crowd like in Worcester for WrestleMania 3? You would advertise for the 13th. Okay, I'm looking at a couple messages up. On November 13th, there was a wrestling fan fest. I think it was in New York. Matt T., I spoke with Jim Cornette about coming into our 90s reunion back on November 13th, and it's just, you know what? We had a great conversation. Cornette I knew from working with Tony Rumble back in 97 through 99. He really doesn't want to go anywhere. He doesn't like to fly. It's a long drive from Louisville, Kentucky to get to Boston. He's making a plethora of cash sitting home doing his podcast. And you know what? I say great for Jim Cornette. I'm happy for him as a human being. As far as the talent goes, I'd love to have him see an interest in coming in. We'd treat him good. No, Charlie is outside with Quincy right now. David, I think Dusty was booking at this point. DrewTube, I do remember that headbutt that Lanny took from Andre the Giant. I believe it was at the March 87 Saturday night's main event. Oh, Brian, I know what you mean. Yeah, Good Time Emporium in Somerville used to do the modern day WWF Attitude Era type pay-per-views, where for a couple of bucks you could get in. But with what Phil and I are talking about, for those early WrestleManias and pay-per-views like that, you went to major arenas to see it. The Worcester Centrum, the Boston Garden. That was how you went and saw those big events. And they drew big crowds. I mean, that's why I'm asking Phil about Worcester. I don't know, what Worcester might have drawn, but I think Cornette and Mirade would be a lot of fun. I have so much respect for him. I know a lot of people don't like him. They think he's outspoken. They think he's negative. A lot of people say that about me too. Maybe that's why I like him. But I have eons of respect for that man. Him and Kevin Sullivan, when they came in for Tony Rumble during the 90s, when I broke into the industry as a high school kid. I mean, again, as I always say, how lucky was I? That was my college education when I was in the 9th grade. Yeah, I was in the 9th grade when Kevin came in for the first time. So my first WWE pay-per-view was Royal Rumble in 91. Yep. Oh, that was the first one you ordered, Brian. Okay. In Melrose, the first pay-per-view I think we could order would have been Great American Bash 88. That's when the cable boxes started coming house to house. And oh, wait, I got a message from a longtime close personal friend. I think John C. Manicus Reilly is passed out after what I gave him. You alive? Oh, I see movement. All right. Maybe a little buzz, but it is Blackout Friday. As long as you're not drinking and driving like that scumbag that almost killed myself, Sheiky Baby, and Commissioner Von Johnson, have some fun. If you're at home watching along, have some fun. But I can't believe that the opportunity for me has come along not to be here on Friday, to be in the Big Apple. Not even for 20. Oh, do you want to? I almost want to play 20 questions with you. Do you want to know how short this trip to New York is going to be? But anyway, I'm trying to find this show. I got a ton of emails. My God. Remember, folks, this was the feud, funny enough, that led to Rick Rude, at least his character, departing from WWF in 1990. Jack Tunney suspended Rick Rude for making fun of the Big Boss Man's mother. Not the most extreme angle to write off Rick Rude, but it was what it was. All right, Joey, I'm almost there. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Come on, tell us. We want to know. If you're with us, you're a friend, you're part of the family. We got to get you on the Patreon. I know you want to join. We got to get you on the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo campaign because we know you love to party with Marty Thursday nights at 10. We got to get you on the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. We're going to have an awesome live special, I think, the weekend before Christmas. The big cyber raffle we had at Memorial Hall November 13th. We're going to do something very similar right here in studio the weekend before Christmas. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got to dig up 5 prizes? I'll do it because I'm that kind of guy. But, I will, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to Charlie. Oh, who was hiding as I do all the work. But you know what? Charlie has had to cover for me so many times. How can you not respect the man, love the man? Charlie is someone and something I am very grateful for in 2020. He's been a huge help to everything we do. He's a good human being. Hopefully he's going to see this message, as I know the Wi-Fi can be a little suspect. I think Charlie's a little jealous of John C. Manicus Reilly in his cup. Is that true, Charlie? Let me know if you at least get that, Charlie. We're having fun. It's Thanksgiving Eve, baby. A big week. A good friend of ours signed that wrestled for us in the past, signed a contract with WWE to become a referee. And he's relocating to Florida. We had one of our great talents that was part of the November 13th event. They were, I guess what you would call an extra at Survivor Series and Raw in Brooklyn this week. And they'll do it again this coming Monday when I think it's the debut in the new venue in Long Island. Someone might correct me on that if I'm wrong. All right. Hey, let me catch up on the YouTube now. That would have been bonkers. Can I kiss your wife, Dan? I've never been married. So feel free. Savage Warrior at WrestleMania 7 was good. All right, back to the action. Yeah, I know Rude was supposed to be on the main event team, captained by Earthquake at Survivor Series 90 in Hartford, which we just did a watch-along for. Bossman lost out on a pretty good feud instead of being stuck with stiffs at that point like Barbarian and Haku, who were past their prime. Too bad it worked out the way it did, but you know what? Rick felt he wasn't being paid what he deserved from that main event run he had with Warrior. He had an injury at that point. So I'll say this. He helped this man get his job in the World Wrestling Federation before he left. So I'll always give props to Rick Rude for that. He helped Percy Pringle from World Class become pallbearer in WWF. Patera would be, Drew, I've tried to get Patera in the studio, but guys, he wants a lot, and I'm not trying to I won't get into specifics, but he wants a lot of money to leave the house. For us to use Patera, we'd have to probably go to Minneapolis and do like one of those on the road type shoots. It would take so much to make the money back. Unless we did an Indiegogo campaign to try and make it happen. I don't know. I'm trying to salvage Party with Marty, but I'll say this. I love Ken Patera. I think you guys have probably heard me tell my Ken Patera and Terry Funk story a few times on the show, and I think you guys would really enjoy it. So if anyone wants to step up to the plate, sponsor the taping, if they're involved in a business like Don the Barber or Kevin Petrantozzi at the Gold Exchange in Greensboro, North Carolina, brother, that's the way to get Kenny Patera to Boston. And here comes the man that apparently rode on the
Rude, I missed a Rude match?
The Rastani cycle.
I sat on it. Rude, oh gosh.
I was explaining to the fans that a sunset flip puts away the boss.
My guy, Ricky Rude.
They went through several lawsuits with the boss man trying to find a gimmick they could legally get away with using. Even the Guardian Angels, I think, went after WCW when he became the Guardian Angel. Until he just went back to his original NWA gimmick of Big Bubba Rogers.
You know, I love the story of him leaving Vince because he thought he was going to go to jail or prison. That's the deal. He thought he was going to get busted with the steroid scandal, so he left in '93.
Rude?
No.
Oh, the boss man. Oh, okay.
Rude's a different story, but boss man.
I think he realized, maybe as much as that sounds good, his time was coming to an end. He was pretty much on Job City. No, I like Boss Man. He was a really good moving big guy. Hakeem was one of my favorites. He lives in my hometown. Now I'm going to guess, Matt, you're from Louisiana? Could you get Greg Valentine? He does good interviews. I don't know if you're being sarcastic about that, but if you watch our interview tonight at 10 o'clock with Alondra Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa, we talk about how Greg Valentine no-showed on us back in September when we were in Las Vegas for the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion.
He truly does do interviews. I'm going to make a prediction. I think Medusa might have done a little bit of slurping on Greg Valentine.
Oh, they were involved.
No, but I think there was some play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think Valentine's sad in the face?
I couldn't answer that question, but Annie comes.
Put the mic back.
Oh, that would help.
Thanks, John.
Annie comes up in the episode. Slick, I'd love to have with us. We ran into that issue with him a couple of weeks ago. That was not Slick's fault.
God couldn't let him take a
Nor was
Sunday
that
off,
our fault. His quote-unquote representation. But Slick is a really good guy. We're hoping to do a phone interview sometime soon to explain to you guys what happened. Slick really, at the end of the day, can't do an event on a Saturday night because of what he does with the church on Sunday. So there comes the problem.
Man, Coach Dan. I love that stupid
Now,
song.
when you say Valentine did something in A&E with Beefcake, I believe, do you mean Annie or do you mean the TV channel? All right, here we go. Two gentlemen that were in this fine studio, good friends of Socko, Brian Nobbs and Jerry Saggs, the Nasty Boys, led by a very seductive Missy Hyatt.
Was doing her best Marilyn Monroe. That's my Marilyn Monroe, as Dusty Rhodes would say. That's my Marilyn Monroe.
Now, I told you I thought who the perfect nasty girl would be.
Annie?
Piggott. Do you see Piggott coming out in the leather coat and the sunglasses? Nasty Boys, just 2 years removed from a great feud they had with the Legion of Doom and the World Wrestling Federation, where they dropped the tag team titles to them at SummerSlam 91 from the world's most famous arena at Madison Square Garden. Michael Buffer was earning his $25,000 tonight. Usually he just did one match. This, I'm going to guess he's going to do 3.
It's surprising to know how long WCW used Michael Buffer for. They used him for a very long time.
Yeah.
They were using him up until the end almost.
And I liked it, I have to say.
It was
I
different.
thought he really added, quote unquote, something to the main event.
Now, in the days that they weren't making much money, that was money they could have saved.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the price tag was a little high for one match, but
Yeah.
that's just one man's opinion.
Right. That's kind of what I'm referring to. Now, when they're making all those millions a year, yeah, you could throw that on there. But when you're losing $60 million, Buffer can kind of go away for a little bit.
I think it was a year ago next weekend that the Nasty Boys were here, and one of the wildest days from beginning to end
Do you
in the
think-
history of this studio.
Let me ask you, you've known me now for a little bit. Do you
Yeah.
think I would have gone along with the Nasties? And if so, maybe...
Much more than Socko.
See, Socko, here's the thing about Socko, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't met him. Socko is he's a rigid man.
He's tense.
He's a little tense. He's a little rigid. If you meet Socko, he's not going to be Mr. Warm and Fuzzy. He's going to... I kind of think he's a little cunty, but he's just a different kind of guy.
I've always liked him. I just think he needs to get acclimated to our industry more if he wants to be a part of it. You can't walk in thinking you know the industry better than the industry does.
I just want to add to that,
Sure.
if I can. The older wrestlers, and I noticed this on 11-13, the older wrestlers and the newer wrestlers, there's a little bit of a difference between them in personality. Socko was around 2 older wrestlers who were very well known to be out there, shall we say. They have a different personality. The typical wrestlers of today, the indie guys that I was around, and I told you I talked to one of them, they have a much different personality. It's almost like they're a regular human being. These guys are different.
Larger than life.
Right, well, and good and bad. Good and bad. There's good and bad to that. Some guys are low key, but some guys, and there's a divide there. So when he comes in to be acclimated, imagine being in a room full of guys like the Nasty Boys, Jake Roberts, Demolition even. These are guys who have from a different era, different way of life, different world, as opposed to some of these younger guys. So it's a little bit of a different thing. I think of guys like Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. If you put Socko in a room with him, my God, Socko would have probably wanted to claw his eyes out. I would want to claw my eyes out. Marty, I love Marty. Marty drives me crazy half the time. I wanted to beat Marty with a pipe.
Your name, Ed Cata?
Well, I mean, Tanya Harding a little bit.
All right.
I mean, Marty was driving me crazy. This man has wanted to strangle Marty at least a time or two.
Each visit.
Each visit.
But We have a question from C. Kruger. Who's your favorite independent female wrestler? Now, do you mean everybody on the circuit right now that has maybe past major league experience, or someone that's a quote-unquote just an independent talent that hasn't risen and made it to a major league promotion yet? Matt, I have conversed with Billy Jack Haynes in the past. If you want to have turkey with Jesus tomorrow, Matthew, I guess that's at your discretion. Matt T., the Nasty Boy interviews are available online if you want ad-free, full-screen access. I'm going to give you the link. I'll tell you this, the Brian Knobs ones were good. The Jerry Sags ones, there are 4 of them, and they are outstanding. Any new included. Oh, as far as talent or personality, personally, I'd have to say, even though she's physically not active, I don't know if I think she'll still valet with her husband, but Velvet Sky is just such a nice, warm, kind, beautiful individual.
Would you say the same about me?
Individual, huh?
Would you say the same about me?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the problem. I've never been into women's wrestling that much. That's not to say they're not talented. It's not my vibe. It's not my cup of tea. There's some really talented people out there. I'd probably get along with a lot of women out there. Women's wrestling's never been my favorite. The Nasty Boys would be interesting to hang out. I've never been a Nasty Boys fan. Never cared for them as workers. Just never did. Thought them to be overrated. That's, you're not going to like everyone and their work.
And you know what? I'm going to throw this out there since I put over their interviews so much. I was really never a big fan of their work. I liked their feud with LOD. Mm-hmm. I liked their feud with the Steiners in the 1990 WCW. Mm-hmm. Other than that, not a whole lot of love. The Jerry Sags interviews, if you haven't ever watched them, you'd probably really like them.
Well, I'll say this. I was about to say this. Great bump takers for guys their size.
Yeah, and they're not small guys.
No. But the Sags, actually, I think I once heard Sags is legitimately tough.
Both of them are very tough men, but Sags especially.
But I could never tell them apart. I never knew who Knobs and Sags were. For the longest time, I couldn't tell them apart.
Really?
I just didn't know. I just didn't care enough to know which one was good. Like Knobs, Knobs is the blonde one. Sags is the dark hair one.
Well, right now, folks, as we enjoy this WCW Tag Team Championship encounter, Charlie is going to get things set for the next game of 20 questions. I believe you received that email.
You know what? I
think you responded to a text, I should say.
I saw it, but it's so blurry. Do you have it that I can look at?
I can forward it to you. Do I have your email in my sent box?
Should be CM Wilson. Excuse me. I'm not going to say all of it. I don't want to get bombarded with some emails.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Save it for AML Uncreative. Where are you? I know I have you in here somewhere. I've got sent messages. I've got plenty to John C. I thought I emailed you the other day.
We've emailed before.
I know we've emailed before, but let me see. Let me try you by your name. Nope. Let me see if I think what it is. Are there numbers involved in it?
There are numbers.
Is it 2?
Nope.
Is that one of them?
Well,
2 blah blah.
Should I just send you an email so you have
my email? Yeah. Send me an email now, and I'll forward you from what we got from the boss.
Hold on.
What are you guys doing for Black Friday? Should I put my list online? My wish is to try and get Party with Marty saved. And for our Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive to be a success. And hopefully for these great watch-alongs to continue. We can't have Joey do all the work. You guys have got to contribute. If everybody contributes, now we're in business. If it's one person, it makes it awfully tough. So if anyone's enjoying it, use that wonderful super chat button to my right. Even if you donate $1. If everyone watched and tonight donated $1, Think about how good we'd be doing. We got to feed the crew. We're having Blackout Friday. I'll be feeling it in the morning. No, actually, I don't. I don't have that strong of a
Why do
reaction
they
to alcohol.
put
but
Missy with the Nasty Boys? I don't get that package.
neither do I. I mean, if they dressed her like a nasty girl, like I would do with
But
Piggott,
Missy's
all
a
kidding
hot,
aside,
Missy's a hottie.
Here
Why
we
would you
go.
put them with two uggos like the Nasties? I don't.
now I remember our conversation because I saw the subject line.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sent me this ridiculous email, and I was like, oh, this guy.
There was nothing ridiculous about that.
Oh, yeah. Booker of the Year over here.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. This was what I
kid, of
received.
course. I kid.
John C., if you could cut to either Charlie or our thank you board, I would be ever so grateful. So I can use the little producer's room and find another. Should we do a prize?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
Nice and Zagiri by.
Start banging on the door. It means I got locked up.
All right, no problem.
I don't know if my friend will put that.
Ooh.
Sometimes we should take the fans on a little tour back here. I wonder if they'd enjoy our little catacomb.
They might. I could see it happening.
How about this up next, Mr. Charlie? It kind of fits the era.
Mm-hmm.
A 2 extra large Prince of Darkness Kevin Sullivan t-shirt.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good catch.
Sullivan, my son. Ah, ha, ha.
Well, we hope to have Kevin with us a lot more. I think I shut my mic off. That's all right. I have a big mouth. Right, Charlie?
Yeah, that's true. That's what he said.
Do you think Lou's teeth would fit?
The Lou fit in your mouth.
Lou's teeth might fit into my fingernail.
You ever hear of Danhausen?
What's that?
Danhausen, the wrestler?
Do you want to say that? You know?
And he has the bag of teeth that he attacks his opponents with.
Does he have a bag of teeth?
Yes.
Oh, now I really want to use them.
Yeah.
There is something I thought was
He was a Ring of
Well-
Honor guy, but he might go to AEW soon.
when I first. Well, I think he broke a couple of bones.
Did he?
Yeah,
He's the one with the pain. He
seriously
goes,
hurt.
"My name is
Yeah, he's like
Danhausen."
Dracula.
Yeah.
There was something about that I now find humorous and has grown on me.
I'm surprised you would have liked it because a year ago I feel like you would have hated that gimmick.
I had to see it a few times.
It's a really
It's almost like New Day. It's not my cup of tea, but what he does exceptionally well.
yeah. He does comedy wrestling how it should be done.
I don't know if I've ever seen a match of his, to be
But
honest.
I would say this: if you're going to use him, you can't put him at the top of the card. You can't
No.
use him against. You have to use him very correctly to use him.
All right, Charles, I'll be right back. You start with your 20 questions, baby.
All right, I'll think of something here.
Let's see, that cup's ready to be refilled whenever you want.
Now, where was Road Warrior Animal at this point? Was he injured? I think he might have been injured. I'm not sure exactly what was up with Animal.
He's taking his time with 20 questions. You want to wait for me?
Yeah, I wanted to wait for you.
You're a kind man. As you enjoy we still on the tag team title match?
Yes. I think after this might be the world title match.
All right, the old Mirade mic is back on. John C., please wait before reverting back to the hard cam to allow me to sit down and avoid my old man pillow being exposed, unlike other things. From what I remember, this was actually a pretty good match. Am I right or wrong?
It's got the Nasty Boys in it. It's all right.
Really don't like the Nasty Boys, huh?
And they took
It's all right.
And there wasn't anything.
Should hear what they say about me. Not the Nasty Boys, but just people.
Well, you are.
Marty said they were actually very cool. Thanks, John.
What? What's wrong? What's wrong? You don't want people to know that you like a little bit of the sauce? You got a little bit of a problem, Marty?
John Cena Sr.'s hot sauce.
Yeah.
Salute. Eh?
Quincy and I were talking. We have a nice long conversation out there.
About what?
Different things. Different subjects came about. Sometimes
Did Christie come up?
No, and neither did Reno Chastain. I
No,
wanted
he does
to do
not like Reno Chastain.
Well, Reno is a very interesting character.
If wrestling could only have vendettas like those two, I mean, a classic. All right, wrestling fans, don't forget again, as I noted, the Super Chat button is open for business. If you like the Super Chats like this, I mean the live episodes and watch-alongs like this, imagine the fun we could have if we could bankroll it and pay these fine gentlemen the mucho dinero they are accustomed to 7 nights a week, right? We got the Venmo at Boston Wrestling, which was something, I think that was a Glantz idea. We got the PayPal, BW at BostonWrestling.com. It ain't free to keep these lights on. If you ever heard Fluffy Guerrero today bitching about it. But
Fluffy Guerrero?
Fluffy Guerrero.
I know why they're called Fluffy Guerrero.
You know why she's called
Why
Fluffy.
was she here?
She made her appearance.
Was she servicing you?
You want to hear a funny story about Fluffy Guerrero?
Being servicing?
I don't think you guys are familiar enough with Fluffy to put her in the category of a Piggott or a Glantz or baby teeth. But I fucking hate Fluffy Guerrero. And I mean worse than Data, worse than Glantz, probably not worse than Piggott. But I just...
What's wrong?
A user, a conniver.
Why is she here then?
You'd have to ask the people that hired her. But so anyway, on Saturday, I don't know if it was a national thing, but at least here in Melrose, they had National Kindness Day.
Mm. And
she came down where she's here so little, she was oblivious to the fact we were even open. Oh, what are you doing here?
Is this how she sounds?
Yes.
Is she an older?
We're open.
Is she an older woman?
Yeah, she's pushing 70. And she brought down a $25 gift card for Dunkin' Donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And she was looking for literally any human being on the planet to give that gift card to. And I was the only one here. So as someone that doesn't, not that I don't mind a good pastry, but since I was the only one here, I wound up with the Fluffy Guerrero Dunkin' Donuts gift card. And I thought it was hysterical because I could just imagine the resentment going through her mind.
Why does she resent you? What have you done to her?
I'm on to the game.
Oh, I know what it's like to be on to someone's game.
17 weeks of paid vacation in 1 year. A little much.
It's a good gig.
It's a good gig. Oh, yeah. Hell of a good gig. But anyway. All right, let's see. Charlie looks like 70s Joe Don Baker.
Joe Don Baker. Was that a baseball manager?
You are the top elite in content around. Well, thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. They all four shared a one-room apartment. Are you talking about the Nasties and
yeah, Marty and Sean.
Rockers? Was I humming John? I don't know who you meant by that. Humming John Cena's theme song. Here we go.
That might be me.
Charlie is an angel.
I am.
Do you follow, from our friend Mr. Kruger, not to be confused with Freddie, see, what does the C stand for? Not like John C. Manicus Reilly, but do you follow any overseas federation? I recommend Eve Riot Girls of Wrestling out of London. They are an all-girls federation also on YouTube a lot.
That sounds awful.
I can't say that I follow any promotions. There are some wrestlers I know. There's one really hot up-and-comer that's hoping to come wrestle for us in 2022 that I think has
Who's that?
Tremendous amount. I don't want to name the name. Then someone else might
name the
go
name.
after him. Huh?
Name it. What are you scared?
Billy.
Billy Earl.
Yeah.
Billy
Billy
Earl.
Riley.
Billy Riley.
Good cousin of John C's.
Is that like Billy Kay?
Yeah. Corey Kruger. Okay. Well, Corey, thank you for all your help. It's appreciated. Now we can put a name with the little. It's still hard to see the face, but a name with the last name. And where are you from, Corey? I don't know if I could ever give anyone the Kevin Petrantozzi introduction from the Gold Exchange in Greensboro, North Carolina. That might be my most animated introduction of the fans.
What about Teddy Papanupagapis?
Teddy Piantapapalupagapis.
Teddy
But he's a member of the Boston
Piantapapalupagapis.
Wrestling MWF family, so he doesn't deserve that intro. Not that he doesn't. That's wrong. No. He's part of the family already. When it comes to introducing our great guests, they deserve something a little different. All from Baltimore, Maryland, a great wrestling town. No, Matthew, I'm not from Long Island. I don't wear my sunglasses at night. What pay-per-view do you guys want to see on Sunday? Do you want us to continue the chronological order we had for Sundays with Survivor Series, which would be Survivor
92.
Series 92? Do you want us to look at an ECW November to Remember? It's going to be a long day for John C. and I before the esteemed Mr. Wilson joins us. We're hoping, knock on wood, very likely, that former ECW World Champion Justin Credible will be in studio in the afternoon. Hopefully we can put together a cyber autograph signing really quick for you guys for the holidays. He can help with the toy drive and all that great jazz. Of course, you're welcome to be here, Charlie. I don't know if your other life commitments would prevent that.
I'll see if I can come by.
Well, maybe you can pop by, even for an episode or two, as we're taping many. Charlie should kick your ass, Dan. Why should he kick my ass? What did I do to him? I like Charlie.
Well,
honestly, I don't think I've ever had a negative thing to say about you.
makes one.
I liked you when I met you for the first time, which would have been the fall of 2015. And then when you kind of resurrected last year, I liked you an awful lot then too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate those kind words. Will I ever kick your ass? I wouldn't kick your ass. I would only beat you mentally. No, I think Dan, you've been an interesting guy. I'm intrigued by you.
You're intrigued by me?
Intrigued.
Because
you're a bit of a chameleon.
Huh?
You're a chameleon.
Why? How is that?
I see these games you play with everyone.
Games?
The games of Manicus, the games of John Cena Sr. You're playing a lot. You're wearing a lot of hats, my friend.
I play games with John Cena Sr.?
Oh, yes.
How so?
I think you're letting him think he's got all the power in this organization.
He has a lot of power in this organization,
Well,
believe me.
Well, I
he
mean,
calls a lot more shots than a lot of people even realize.
Well, I think that there's some power behind him.
Who would that be?
Well, I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking you. Maybe I'm onto the. Maybe I feel like there's a power surge in the MWF.
You think there's someone beyond myself, David Reese, and Neil Manolian?
See, I think there's someone there. I think there's like powers that be, essentially. Trying to see who that could be.
I think it's interesting that you're so observant, but I'm lost on that one.
I don't know.
Who was the other one that you said? You said John Cena. Oh, in Manicus.
Yes.
Well, there really was no game. It was pure frustration, anger, stress, resentment, and hatred.
Manicus sounds like, well, that was a game war for me, if anything.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I felt
Actually,
bad about
Manicus,
that.
fun fact, is the cousin of Brockus. I was hoping you'd smile at that one. I don't know.
Brian says Survivor Series 92.
You're a very charming, personable guy. You know, you're like...
I'd like to think I am one of the great compliments that Linda ever paid me was, and this is going to sound wrong, but I hope people can just digest it for a minute. Linda is not a wrestling person. When she has come to the live event, she has seen what she has seen with, the various great people we have in our industry, the various eccentric people we have in our industry, and unfortunately, from time to time, there is an underbelly to our industry.
Mm-hmm.
And she said something along the lines of, you are so much better than the quality of person that are at those events. And I was insulted a little bit at first, because those are my people. But once I understood what she was trying to say, I took it as a great compliment. And believe me, it takes a lot to get a compliment out of that woman. That heathen.
Well, I think that...
Heathen.
Yeah, I've heard you the first couple times.
Heathen.
I think the wrestling business, I'll be honest with you, it's a very weird business full of weird people. And I'd be honest with you, I don't even really like it a lot half the time. I really don't.
Neither do I.
I really don't. I don't know why you stay in it, to be honest with you. I think you're too good for it.
Well, thank you. Now I've heard two people say it.
I think you should leave it.
Well,
but it's like a drug.
Honesty in character goes a long way in any aspect of life.
But
I don't know if it's conducive to great success in wrestling sometimes. I know people will make jokes here and there, but the true great compliments I received from my wrestling world were from Paul Bearer, much more than Linda Mirade. And those are the ones that stick with me more than anything. But I feel like I've done it the right way. I feel like I've tried to do it the right way for 20 plus years here in Boston wrestling, and since Tony Rumble broke me in, because I tried to observe the way it was done for 6-7 years, 8 years almost, before we had our first Boston Wrestling MWF event. I studied almost like a kid in school. The things I agreed with, the things I didn't agree with, the things I didn't know. And I tried to incorporate that into my position in Boston wrestling when Neil Manolian and I, as two insane 21-year-olds, began this voyage back at Wonderland Greyhound Park in Revere, Massachusetts, the former home of ECW. And have I always been successful? Absolutely not. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely, with every live event. But has the intent always been there? Has the intent always been good? Yes. That's why I take great offense to some of the scum that come up from time to time that I have pure hatred for and resentment for, and just people that have gone out of their way to make things difficult when they shouldn't. Like that individual back on November 13th. There was no need for any of that, especially with the involvement of WWE and putting it together. That should have been enough right there to say, okay, this is a safe night at the office.
Which individual?
What's that now?
Which individual? Give me a hint.
The one that wasn't the majority. One of the featured stars.
RKS? Perry?
No, I'm talking about the ones that were there.
Oh, one of the one blazing around.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was zero need. With WWE's involvement, there was zero need for any of that.
You know, I think that show was a very interesting day for me, and it gave me a lot of insight. And it also kind of made me think about some things. And it was just a very weird day. It was also just to think about, wow, a 20th anniversary show. To be part of something like that, that was kind of interesting. That was kind of unique. But it was a very, you know, you have all these personalities, you have all these people, and you're trying to put it all together. And you work hard all day. And it's a very weird thing to be at the end of that and say, wow, that actually happened.
And you were a huge, huge part making it happen. And for John Cena Sr., for all of our differences, for all of our wars that we've had over the years, for him to say it was the best event we've ever had as far as the presentation of it went, I was shocked. I was shocked. I took it as a great compliment coming from him because at times I think he will state his piece a little too much.
Well, he's got a piece on his top of his head.
Well, we're not talking about that one, but
looked good, by the way.
for him to give me that compliment, that made me feel really good. The Sting here is going after Missy Hyatt, or as Matt Logan would say, Missy Hyatt and her breast, Jackal. You don't know Matt Logan, though, do you?
Not really.
No, you're lucky. That was a conversation from back in March of '94. Jackal, I'm going to forward you an interview from the Wade Keller Torch Talk where Missy Hyatt talks about the enlarged photo of her exposed breasts. Over your head, I'm guessing.
Well, I don't know who that is, but I know who Missy Hyatt is, obviously.
Yeah. Let me catch up. Oh, well, Joey, thank you for everything you did. Oh, wait a minute.
High bump on the back of the head.
Joey, thank you for everything you've done, brother. Happy Thanksgiving to you since you are checking out. I hope you have a good holiday with your, whether you visit with friends, family, whatever it may be. Kruger, Corey, I'm very familiar with MCW. They seem like good people. I don't know Ashley Simpson. Wasn't she a singer? I don't know if that's what they meant.
Yeah, Ashley sings.
Phil loved the early 80s. MCW produced a lot of talent, like my buddy Leo Rush. I'm not going to mention that other piece of garbage.
Oh, you mean Velveteen Dream?
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't a piece of garbage. I thought he was really good. He was found innocent, man. He was innocent.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
When?
They look. He had evidence to prove that he was innocent.
Where was it? Who did he show it to?
He showed it online. It proved him his innocence.
I'd love to see it if you could ever dig it up.
Well, I don't really care enough to dig it up, but I believe the man was innocent.
All right, Joey. Good night, my friend. I don't believe you. Well, you know what? I don't know for certain to say he's guilty, so I'm not going to knock him too much on that. But I think he's just a lousy asshole of a human being, whether he is innocent or guilty, no matter what the circumstances of that situation may be.
What did he do to you?
I think I've shared that story before. I don't want to get too fired up.
Did he fondle you in a way you let him to be
No,
fondled?
nothing to do with that. I watched the Huckster and Nacho Man WWF New Generation the other day and didn't connect Hall's WCW debut when he called out Nacho, Huckster, and Billionaire Ted. See what happens when you go back and watch history, buddy? There it is. Now, did we do 20 questions for the T-shirt?
No, we didn't, actually.
Well, if it's almost main event time, I think we better get our dead asses on it.
All right, I've got an answer.
All right. Fans, 20 questions with Charlie Wilson for the Kevin Sullivan Prince of Darkness T-shirt, I think it says.
Yes.
Begins now.
Dano, you got to watch the questions. My phone's about to die.
All right, I will do that.
And here's the shirt, by the way. I'll put it on my chest.
Oh, wait, you get the Charlie Wilson official. You know how many of the female fans would love to be on that chest?
Yeah, quite a few. All 4 of them.
All right, 20 questions, folks. As we get ready for the main event at the 10th anniversary of Starrcade, 1983 to 1993. Here he comes. We make a lot of fun of his gear sometimes, but as far as what he could do in the ring, and as never mind his manager, both who are here in this studio, the creme de la creme. In 93, he was about as good. Probably my favorite in wrestling in 93.
Really?
Was this person in a stable? Question 1.
No.
No. All right. 19 guesses to go if you're going to get the Kevin Sullivan shirt. I always liked it when Vader had the elephant mask. I do have to say I thought that added a little bit to his persona. I don't know if fans remember, but the original main event for this pay-per-view was supposed to be Vader defending the championship against Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
Before Sid went a little overboard with the scissors on the international tour. Jamie, is that a guess? A question? There he is. The man that made Charlotte his own.
And then he made a Charlotte.
Was he a world champion?
No.
No. 18 questions to go. Oh, Vader.
No.
You think John C. could pull off the Ric Flair look?
It'd be interesting.
Yep, Stone Roses, you remember the situation well. Oh, Jamie, I'm sorry. That was about who you thought was the greatest. Yeah, I thought Vader was the best in 93. So we have 18 guesses left. I apologize. That's why I asked for complete sentences. When you say, my guess is, blah, blah, blah. Then it's easier for me to follow. I would have loved to have done more with Vader. He was not ill, but I mean, he had a cold the day he was here with us, and his voice was kind of raspy. And was this person in WCW?
WCW. Yes.
All right, 17 guesses to go. And isn't it amazing that Vader, even as big as he was on the gas, so he looked extra solid.
And we have Flair's supple skin being shown. The skin started to look a little flabby here.
He wasn't on the good stuff. 17 guesses to go, folks, for the Kevin Sullivan shirt. Joe Shipley, if you're still with us, make sure you email me your address for the Bob Orton picture. Joey, I have your email. I can get your address for the Adam Cole poster. Did this person ever hold a title in WWF?
No.
No. 16 guesses, folks.
You know, Vader was gonna enjoy pounding the crap out of Flair in this match. I don't think he personally liked Rick that much, but
the one in the interview, not that I want to give too much information away about the tremendous studio shoot interview we have available on the Boston Wrestling Patreon channel at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. The one that he had his greatest plight with was Hogan.
Did he like Flair overall, though?
I don't know if he disliked him.
But was kind of more like, eh.
He said he was kind of oblivious to some of the politics were going on.
Vader was? Yeah, probably.
Is he in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Not that I know of.
15 questions to go.
They've got 1 million people in there now, so it's hard to...
Hold on one sec. Drew Tube, you have to send me an email, brother. Joe Shipley wins and gives away. He doesn't want any of our garbage prizes. Oh, wait a minute, Johnny C. You can't see me. All right, C. Come on over, kid.
A lot of fire going on over here, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're not talking about Olalandra.
A lot of great balls of fireball.
And you know what? With that said, it's only fair, I think.
Do you like it, Charlie?
No, I'm just showing everyone the T-shirt.
Hey, Alonzo, how are you, buddy? Alonzo, if I am correct, you are from Rhode Island. Flair's daughter looks like a man. Which one? Phil, question. Thank you, Phil, for number 15, cruiser, heavy, superweight. Heavyweight, all right. 14 questions. Matthew, I don't know what this obsession is with Dan with all this gay stuff. Dan is from Gay Town. Well, if Melrose is Gay Town, I guess that's where I'm from.
I mean, you're not gay. I don't see the big deal. I don't know why people. I mean, first of all,
You don't know of any homosexual activity that's going on with me.
Oh no, I know there has been.
Oh, you know there has been.
Well, I mean, I think you've told me some of the stories.
Really?
You've had some experience. That's fine.
How many alcoholic beverages did I have that night?
Well, I don't understand you.
How much was the sweet
from your
slurring?
lips to God's ears, as you'd say? Maybe they were just one-offs, but that doesn't. Just because you eat a banana doesn't make you a monkey. That's what you've told me. But whether you like men, women, or pans, as the pansexuals like pans, or you like baby teeth.
I don't like having to clean them. They're a pain in the ass.
Let me ask you, no matter who you're attracted to, if they have small teeth, is that an issue?
Well, you usually would attribute small teeth to a child, so I would say yes.
Now,
I don't know if you're old enough to remember. I think he was called McGruff the Crime Dog.
I do remember.
Take a bite out of crime. That must have been a pretty dangerous city if that was the case.
Do you think that our friend could take a bite out of anything?
It would take a long time for him to
he told me one time he took a bite out of an apple. He was in the hospital for a week.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Apple one, Manicus Reilly.
Probably stuck, almost like crazy glue inside his mouth.
I keep thinking of A Christmas Story when every time you make fun of his teeth, when the little toady comes out and Ralph says, and his lips curled over his little teeth.
What was that again?
Remember the toady in, A Christmas Story?
Atlas?
No. The toady in Little Christmas. Grover Dill, I think his name was, in A Christmas Story.
The movie?
Yes.
Oh,
Scott Farkas.
I know the movie, but I don't remember the
Well,
line.
Scott Farkas had a little toady, and he said Grover Dill. His lips curled over his rotten yellow teeth.
Oh, wait a minute, we got a couple of guesses here before we get away. Was this person bald?
No, they had hair.
That's 14.
They had hair.
J-Mac, heel or babyface?
They were I don't believe they ever were a heel. They were a baby. Actually, no, they were a heel. Maybe they were a heel. But you probably know them better as a baby face.
All right, 13. Dan has crackhead teeth. Mr. Showbiz Guy, did this guy ever tag?
I mean, he's been in tag matches. Did he have a great tag? Well,
Was he known well for being in a tag
He
team?
might have been. He might have had one slightly known tag team that he was in, but mostly, more known as a single.
All right, we'll give it 12. Users are losers and losers are users. McGruff the Crime Dog. Thank you, Drew Tube. Now, Alonzo, were you with us live on November 13th? That's not too far away. If not, I'm hoping you're going to be with us April 16th, 2022. Soul Survivor 10, when we go back to the 80s. What a night it is going to be. Matthew, I got to show that one just for humor. Dan and Cena Sr. had sex. I mean, could you imagine?
Well, first of all, with your size and his piece, I don't know if that would be a combination I'd want to see. Actually, I think some people would want to see that.
You really think there's any human being on God's green earth?
There's some sick people.
Would want to see
They're in
that?
our chat room, to be honest with you, I think.
Number 13, is it Buff?
No, not Buff.
Don the Barber, welcome to the chat room. We mentioned you not too long ago. I don't know if you were here tonight earlier, but thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Telling all your friends across social media that we are LIVE Live, as we will be this Sunday night at 7 p.m. after our visit from ECW World Champion Just Incredible. Nate's taking it to Big Van Vader on the floor. He's got the chops. He's got the slaps. He's really going across.
Do you think this was
the outside of the ring
Rick's last
pole.
great match?
Or
last great moment?
Look at Ollie trying to get in there. Whoop. No, I think his 96 feud with Savage was excellent. After that,
It was a while. People say, "Oh, the Shawn
I think
Michaels."
his last great match was the match he had in Charlotte with Triple H on Raw, which I think probably would have been
03,
June-ish of 03.
but then the Shawn Michaels match, or you didn't think it was that great?
The retirement match?
Yes.
For drama, it was excellent. For work, so-so. It's almost like going back and rewatching Hogan and Rock from WrestleMania 18.
Oh, well, I love the Hogan Rock match. I prefer the Hogan Rock match personally, but
I know you're having fun, Matthew, as long as you don't drag in the death pot. That's the only thing that is going to put you on the shit list. Other than that, if it brings you joy to call me gay or whatever it may be, have fun. I don't know what else to say. As long as you're not interrupting everybody else. I forgot the answers. Recap a couple.
he had hair. He was in WCW, I think. Not really in the Hall. I don't think he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, not that I know of. He could be, but they have so many people now. So many people. All those wings. It's hard to know.
Lots of wings. It's almost like a bird.
Yeah, pretty much. He was a heavyweight guy, not a world champion. Mostly a singles wrestler. How many more guesses do they have? 11 guesses?
I thought we were at 13, but I could be wrong.
Maybe 12. We'll call it 12.
12.
12 guesses left, everyone.
Stone Roses. Hogan and Rock, the loudest reaction I've ever been a part of. Yeah, I'll say this. That's right up there for me, too. At WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, I have to say, when Austin came out, his reaction was so loud, it almost sounded like the crowd went silent. It was crazy. It was fun. All right, question number 11. Charlie, was he a main eventer or mid-carder?
Main event guy.
I'm sorry?
Main event guy.
Main event guy, okay. Did he wrestle for Jim Crockett Promotion? Takes us down to 10.
He did.
He did. All right. Alondra Blaze is the only wrestler I've ever seen in person. It was like 93 or so. She was signing autographs in the entranceway of the old Providence Civic Center. How was she to you, Alonzo? Did she sign at Alondra Blaze or Medusa? I remember one time I was in the locker room at the Old Garden, and she came out of the where she'd go out through if you went to the old Boston Garden, you had to go through the concourse to leave. And she was signing the autographs as Medusa, saying, I'm going to be going back to this sooner than later anyway. Little did she know. Yeah, but Don the Barber, I agree with you on that. The Benoit and Angle match at Royal Rumble 03 was a classic for the ages, but compared to what we're talking about with Austin and Hogan, and that's just a different class. In my humble opinion, you're certainly entitled to yours. As a man who could probably do wonders with this head. Now, is Flair's mouth busted open at this point? I don't know if he loses a tooth or... But
Was
there's
it
blood.
a regular sized tooth or a baby tooth?
I was in awe. I could not move, so no autograph for me. You didn't even get the autograph, Alonzo? Drew Tube was at Rumble 03, so you must be pretty close by, brother. Did you join us Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Pigottville, known as Memorial Hall in Melrose? John C. Reilly's crush from when he was a teenager. Piggott. Alondra Blaze and I talk about Piggott tonight at 10. She was a little confused. Annie comes up.
I think she's... Did she have her ass eaten up by Annie?
I don't think so. Whoop, well, this time just a tad.
Hit a drop kick, Nate. Yeah, I think this is when the end. I would have stopped using Flair as a main event guy right here. I would have given him the win. I would have said, hey, you're going to drop the title back to Leon or someone else in a couple months. This is it for you, Nate. He was 45 years old in February. He had his run. It was done.
In 94, he had some good matches with Vader. He had some really good pay-per-view matches with Ricky Steamboat.
No, I'm not saying he couldn't go anymore, but as the face of your company, as a world champion, I think his run was done after 93.
Would you have kept it on Vader until Hogan came in?
They didn't even know they were going to get Vader. I would have had to go. I bet you Flair. I don't mind Flair and Hogan, but I think after 94, it's like I would have had Flair go down the card a little bit. I know supposedly he did not like being U.S. champion. He felt like it was a demotion.
I think so too.
I don't agree with that at all.
That's at the point when you know you should be going part-time, in my opinion.
I don't think it's a demotion at all. I think that makes the title more prestigious. I think that's a good thing.
Brother, you had VIP tickets, but passed on the 13th. You want to save your tickets for in April with Jake and Demolition. I think that's cool, but you should have gone to both. You missed a hell of a good time. He'll tell you. Question number 9, I believe. Did this person wear a mask?
I'm trying to think if they wore a mask at an angle, but they didn't wrestle in a mask, but they might have worn it in an angle.
All right.
Not that I remember, though.
Don the Barber, is that an official guess? If you guys could say, like, question, then I definitely know.
Or just write whoever the guess is in question mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work, too.
Yeah.
Love the WCW version of the U.S. title. Yeah, they had a nice U.S. title.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Little guess was it Ricky Steamboat with guess number 8?
No.
Remaining? Okay,
No.
No. Andre the Giant.
Nope.
Guess number 7? No. The 7 guesses remaining, I should say. John C., do you have any guesses in there as you get blitzed on Blackout Friday? No. Nothing from John C. Sting wore a mask. When did Sting wear a mask? I don't remember that. I'm looking forward to going to the Big Apple on Friday. Oh, wait a minute. I love Charlie. What a nice compliment. My address is...
Who said that? Who said that?
A good friend from Michigan.
Oh, Joey. Joey,
How
love
do
me?
you know it was Joey? We got a lot of fans in Michigan.
Well, I always know of that man in Michigan. Joey, you love me because I keep it real, brother. You know I don't sugarcoat anything. I'll tell you exactly how it is.
He shoots. Just ask Harvey.
Yeah. And I'll shoot here if I feel like it about everything.
I like Chick-fil-A, Matthew. Is it only Anderson with 6 guesses remaining?
No. It is not.
Phil, with 5 guesses remaining, what other sport did he play?
Wrestling, maybe football.
Maybe.
I think wrestling, at least. Good athlete.
Now, if fans are just tuning in right now, you almost look like you're being wrapped to go to a psych ward.
I should be going to a psych ward, being here.
Oh, that's a different story for a different time.
Mm.
Do you look like you have teeth that were bird seed that was crushed?
No, I didn't. I don't have that problem.
If you left, one question that was asked, has this person ever left memory cards hidden on their front porch?
They weren't hidden. They were in plain sight. But it was not them. Does that count as a guess?
No, that was my guess.
Okay.
Charlie smoked weed yesterday with Dan. I didn't see him yesterday.
Oh.
I don't know you to be a gimmick man.
Not really a gimmick man per se. Not really.
Is it Ric Flair with 5 guesses remaining?
Not Ric Flair.
Brock, question mark.
Barack Obama?
No, Brock.
Brock Lesnar? Oh, no.
All right, 4 guesses remaining. Could the answer be Kevin Sullivan to win the Kevin Sullivan shirt?
No.
3 guesses remaining. Flair taking it to Vader. Holly Race doesn't know what to do with that slick-looking mustache that he's got on. 3 guesses, guys. Who's taking home?
Baby. You know you got the answer in your head.
Now, what are you doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow with the Wilson Thanksgiving
Yeah, we're going to be
tradition?
having a lot of people over and hosting
A lot of
Thanksgiving.
Wilsons.
A lot of Wilsons.
Quincy was impressed with the size of your turkey.
Yeah, I think he was trying to hustle another turkey.
Alonzo Picado, what's the question? We're playing 20 questions, trying to figure out what or who.
I'm ready for Joe to figure out what the last guess. He's been doing this.
J-Mac's guess is Steve McMichael.
Not Steve McMichael.
That brings us to what, 2 guesses?
2 guesses.
Here's my shot in the dark. My guess is Pillman.
No.
1 guess.
1 guess.
Joe Shipley.
Joe, you got to hit it, brother. A lot of air between those punches, Ricky.
Well, they can't connect on them all, I guess. Joe Shipley with the 20th guess. Wahoo McDaniel.
No.
You guys.
And the answer is, and unless he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I guess the world, okay, so the World Championship, he did not win the world title on a major promotion. No WCW, no WWF, no AWA, no NWA champion. Magnum TA. Heavyweight guy, had hair. He wasn't really a tag team guy, though. He did tag team with Mr. Wrestling 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Mid-South champion. So he was a heavyweight champion in Mid-South, but that was a territory. He was in the Crockett's, obviously. He was not the world champion, though he would have won it had he continued. He was in WCW, technically as an announcer.
Yep.
So it would be Magnum TA. Heavyweight guy. I think he wrestled about 240. He was, I'm surprised some of the answers were a little out there, but yeah, it was Magnum TA. Now, is he in the Hall of Fame?
No.
He's not in the
Not
WWE
that
Hall of
I
Fame?
know of.
Which is a shame because they put a lot of other people in there. He deserves to be in there, I'd say. Would you?
No.
No? After everyone else
I
they
don't
put
think he
in
was
there?
around long enough.
After everyone else they put in that Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, if you want to sit there and compare him to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, maybe you could.
In a legit wrestling Hall of Fame?
No. No.
He would have
not.
been. Had he another
You
4 or
don't
5
know.
years,
I mean,
had he had a 4 or 5 year run after that, he would have been.
the potential was there. For
Yeah.
him.
If he had wrestled, and actually, I wonder with him, he had that injury so young. If he was able to come back, say around 90, 91, he would have been young enough to make a comeback. Now, would that popularity have been there? Well, probably not, but he would have been able to do something. You know, I think he would have maybe turned into like a Barry Windham kind of guy.
Well, it's too bad that he wasn't able to make that comeback. Because there were a lot of people that were really pulling for him to be a top guy.
Though the weird thing is, an interview I heard with him, he was saying that the NWA board of directors in '86, which was pretty much crumbling fast, '86, '87, the NWA was.
Yeah.
He said
Jim Crockett and fill in the blank.
Yeah, basically. He said that as early as '86, they were trying to get the belt off Flair and go look for another guy. And it just didn't work out. They had him. I think Barry Windham could have had that spot. Eventually it was Sting. But they were trying to get the belt off Flair as early as '86, which is interesting.
And it failed from '86 to '91.
Well, they
Because
did.
if you think the CM Punk chance was something to WWE,
Yeah.
you should have seen the reaction at every WCW event after Flair went to WWF.
Speaking of Punk, I saw a clip on the internet. I guess he was talking to MJF in the ring. They were doing a promo together, and he had a great line. He looked at MJF and said, "You think you're revolutionary, but you're just a lesser-known Miz." And I've been saying that for the last 2 years.
He said that on AEW TV?
Yep, and the crowd popped, and I've been saying that for 2 years. As good as he is, he's just another Miz. He's nothing different. He's just Miz. He's Miz without the leash. Miz would have done the same stuff MJF would be doing now. He's better at a younger age, but he's nothing.
Sure, missed that one.
Nothing different. You know, he's fresh because he's not doing anything else that someone's doing, but for the most part, he's basically Miz.
Vince must have wanted to get Magnum. I don't know, Drew, too. Probably. They wanted to get just about any top guy they could get their hands on.
And I think is MJF a small guy?
Yes.
Very small? Like not small as me, but he's probably a little bit bigger.
Not too far off.
Maybe a 5'9"-ish guy.
Yeah.
5'9", yeah. Maybe, what do you think, a couple 100 pounds?
Oh, I would doubt he's 200 pounds.
Really? He looks
Not
big.
a big guy.
He looks
he's in great
decent.
shape. I mean, he's a great talker.
He looks decent
in
on
a perfect world, he would be a tremendous mouthpiece for a villain as a manager.
But you don't
wrestled from time to time.
You don't see him as a wrestling world champion.
Credibly?
Yes.
No.
A world champ. Or what about the world
Could
champion?
I see it happening? Yeah.
Intercontinental guy?
I think no. I wouldn't even put him in that category.
Really?
Just, eh.
I think he's not a bad in-ring worker. I think he worked
No,
credible.
I'm not insulting his work. It's just it comes down to
You don't think he's credible?
I don't think he's big enough or thick enough to have that credibility that you need.
Really?
One man's opinion.
I feel like he's got enough size, especially today. Is he that small of a guy? He doesn't look that small on television compared to the other guys they've got there.
Well, he's bigger than Adam Cole.
He looks the same size as Jericho, height-wise.
Height-wise, yeah, but I don't think he's as thick as Jericho.
Well, Jericho's kind of pudgy now, you know.
This was, I think, are we leading to the finish right here? This was good. Odd, different, and almost an upset.
Bit of a shoot-looking
Is
finish.
Nature Boy Ric Flair. I don't know what number he was at this point. Was this his 10th?
At least 7 or 8.
Woo!
Flair looks exhausted.
Working with Leon wasn't an easy
Yeah.
night.
And
Leon was big, stiff. Kevin's probably, I think he's a little bigger than that, Phil, but not too much. You know what? Kevin and I will have to take a picture next time. We hopefully have him in studio instead of in Las Vegas. And I am a lot bigger than Kevin. I remember the first time I had my picture taken with Kevin when I was starstruck would have been March of '94. And even then, when I was in the 9th grade, I was a lot bigger than Kevin was.
So according to Wikipedia, MJF 5'11", 226.
I think that's wrestling.
You think it's way small? It's not even
So
close.
he's probably, if they're saying 5'11",
226.
probably 5'9".
And then instead of 226, you're looking at 205-ish.
I think that's generous, but
I think he's bigger than Adam Cole.
I think he's more presentable and thicker than Adam Cole.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably legit 5'9", 200-ish.
Well, what a night for Ric Flair. You think there would have been more of an in-ring celebration. So, guys, unfortunately, we come to that point of the show where we have to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think of Starrcade 93? Some good matches on top, some very forgettable undercard matches. You think that would have been a DQ, but then again, he hit his own man. If you were a fan in this era, did Vader losing to Flair take away from Vader's luster to you?
I'm going to go with a 5.5. I like to push your buttons. I feel like you're going to yell at me in the car home.
No. What if I ever yelled at you in the car?
No, but you're going to give me some side eyes.
I just don't understand when you get 10 choices, the halves.
Because it gives you more choices.
And Joe Shipley, same thing. The comedian Joe with his Baltimore Orioles. He wants to talk about a joke. 5.5 from Joe.
Hey, it could be worse. You could be the Diamondbacks fan.
No, Baltimore is...
Diamondbacks are pretty terrible.
Yeah, the Baltimore is they've been tanking on purpose.
Baltimore's just as bad. And
Ivan Putski's really short. We've had him with us before in Boston Wrestling MWF. Yeah, Drew Tube, I agree with you. I mean, even compared to someone like DiBiase, who isn't a large man.
Oh, wait, let me ask you this about MJF. Bigger than Cam Zagami?
Height-wise?
Or height, thickness?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
For whatever the pros and cons of MJF are, at least he looks like
an athlete,
a pro wrestler.
Yeah,
Cam looks nothing like a manager.
A pro wrestler, you mean?
What did I say?
You said manager.
MJF?
No. Cam Zagami looks nothing like a manager, you said.
Yeah.
I think Cam...
I wouldn't target him as anything but. Wait a minute. Vader's angry with Holly.
Cam would have benefited from another inch or two of maybe 15 pounds, for sure.
Is it the Nasty Boys sitting down there in the corner? This was a good angle.
Yeah, that's how you should present him. He's an angry guy.
Oh, and then cut back to these two. I don't know. One man's opinion. Again, guys, keep those ratings coming in. Scale of 1 to 10. What did you think of Stockade 93 from the great city of Charlotte, North Carolina? Nick Foley is headed to Dave and Buster's in Philadelphia on December 11th. For those of you in the great Philadelphia area, I love Philadelphia. Fun, fun, fun city for me. Great memories. So I guess we saved the T-shirt for a Sunday night.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, right?
All right. Well, I guess I'll jibber jabber with our great fans.
How do you want to do the outro now?
No, I'll chat with them for a few minutes. I always love talking with you guys. I don't think many people told us what they're doing for Thanksgiving this weekend, or tomorrow, I should say. I'll be here producing great content for you. Look at a young Charlotte in the bottom left-hand corner. Isn't that something? She had a full face back then. David Flair, it's amazing, in your left-hand corner, would go on to become a WCW Tag Team Champion. Matthew, are you really going to a Golden Corral? Dallas and the Raider, who wins? I got to say, now that the Raiders are in Vegas, I'm a Vegas guy, I got to go with the Raiders. Charles Flair. Who is Charles Flair, Alonzo? Bill's Mafia, baby. I'd like to go up to the Bills Stadium to see a Patriots game. They really have such a great, rabid fan base. Well, I hope you enjoy the Golden Corral. I know Oscar of Men on a Mission, our Monday night host, is a huge aficionado of Golden Corral. I'm looking forward to the fact that on Friday, I'm very likely not going to be in this studio as I head to the Big Apple, New York. Oh, Drew Tube, we hope you have a great time in Maine with your daughter tomorrow. That's what the holidays are all about. I wish I was able to spend my day with the little Maraudis, but the situation is what it is. There you have a rare photo op. Sting congratulating the Nature Boy Ric Flair on his big win. Sting had some great matches with Vader in that time period. Get some mustard and ketchup on you. Oh, one of his longtime rivals, Ricky, was there in the cage with him, I believe. It's Starrcade 83 when he beat Harley Race, and he's congratulating him again 10 years later. It's unfortunate that the little guy, Reed, whose head he's patting, is no longer with us. Hey, you have a great Thanksgiving too, Alonzo. Thanks for popping by. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see April the 16th. It's Soul Survivor 10 when we go back to the 80s and Charlie puts on his little hoodie coat. I don't know if he's cold or if my heart is too cold for you.
No, the studio's a little cold and I'm about
A little chilly.
I'll leave with you.
David, I appreciate that. I'm thankful for you guys tuning in to watch everything that we do. When you sacrifice nearly every day of your life to try and produce content or be engaged in conversations, discussions, meetings, and so on to give you guys the best talk shows. Right now, fans, it's the perfect time to wrap it up as Stockade 93 wraps up. If you head on over to the YouTube channel, the main page, click on, I'm going to find it for you, the Medusa / Alondra Blaze studio shoot interview. A rare lady here in the studio, the first, I believe, since Vicky Guerrero, who I think very, very highly of.
Not the real Fluffy Guerrero.
No, Fluffy we see far too much. Vicky Guerrero, the widow of Eddie Guerrero. Let me copy the link for you. So again, we had some fun. You're going to spend the day with Quincy? Well, I don't know what Patera Rastani would have to say about that. I don't know if you've met Patera Rastani.
I should.
I'm going to put the link right here for you, folks. Again, if you had fun, baby, the Super Chat button is open for business. The Marty Jannetty Indiegogo campaign is ongoing, so we can afford to bring Marty back for our Thursday night, weekly night programs with him. The Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive is just heating up. We're going to have a live special probably the weekend before Christmas. This Sunday, we're likely to see former ECW Heavyweight Champion Just Incredible. Then December 11th and 12th, Huss, 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 The Berserker is coming. And to see the thought of John Nord and Quincy together is just, you talk about the immovable force meeting the, how did the phrase go? I'm a little Black Friday.
Irresistible force meets a movable object.
The irresistible force meeting the
A movable object.
immovable object. That is Quincy and John Nord. But we are wrapping up here, folks. Again, one more time, we'll finish off the cup. Salute! Huh?
John C., take us out with a clap, buddy.
However you spend your Thanksgiving, we hope it is a great day for you. Head on over and enjoy myself and Alondra Blaze talking about the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, her leaving WWF and winding up in WCW on Nitro, dumping the championship belt into the trash can, her Cauliflower Rally Club Award this year, her book coming out in 2023, and lots more. Again, a rare female interview in studio. For all the things that I've hinted at, the interview itself is a lot of fun. Head on over now. Special thanks to John C., Manicus Reilly, and Charlie Wilson for another great watch along. We'll see you live Sunday night. Happy holidays from us to you.